It had been a long wait. The Blades have had 12 years of hurt, relegations, playoff near misses, but now they were back.
So Abdullah, in July of next year, Sheffield United have to acquire the assets, the ground.
I think it's too early to answer that question because...
The manager, a leader, an inspiration. Working for the owners, looking to build on the foundations.
That is very important to me that the assets be joined with the club.
Our mission is for the club to stay in the Premier League. And
this club moving forward in front of the committed supporters.
Listen, there's absolutely no way that I thought Sheffield United would be finishing ninth in the table. I don't think anybody in their wildest dreams did.
It's where everyone wanted to try and get to be, and we achieved that.
At their cathedral, which is their home, the players, against all the odds, doing the business. They are Sheffield United, and this is their story so far.
Being there and getting promoted with the manager and getting 100 points, you think, right, nothing can really beat that, and then you come in the next year and he pushes you again and says, lads, we've got a chance again. And the team that we had was just unstoppable. The formation that we do and the way that we play is always going to be the same, and I think under this manager it'll always be the same. You keep pushing, and he got the best out of a group of lads again, and we got promoted to the Premier League.
Knew a bit about it, watched it from a distance over the last 2 or 3 years. Always wanted us to be involved in it, but your concentration is solely on the present, and was getting us out of the Championship. So it was obviously a quick turnaround, but really didn't know what we were going into until you experience it up close and personal.
You know, the success we had the season before, coming up from the Championship and coming into the Premier League for the first time in 13 years for the club. It was a real proud moment, obviously, to lead the boys out, to be given the responsibility by the gaffer. Not disrespecting Bournemouth in any way, but you know, we're not playing Man United, we're not playing Chelsea, Arsenal, any of the big boys. Let's, you know, play our way. Let's go about it how we want to. And I think second half, you know, it was a much better performance. And in the end, we got the goal last minute, and you know, I don't think you could write it, could you? That, you know, the Sharpie, you know, his boyhood club in the Premier League gets the equaliser and sets us off on our way. It was, you know, a real, even every time now, you know, I still goosebumps seeing that goal.
To be honest, a little story behind it. We had our final game against Reims, I think it was, in France, and I wasn't in the team, which obviously I was disappointed. I knew that was the team that was going to start the week after. But I said to Oz, I had a feeling that, you know, if I got the opportunity, I was going to score, and it was nice to get on the pitch and to get that first Premier League goal was some feeling personally.
The club's first Premier League game in 12 years. I thought it was a game that they grew into. It was almost the whole season in microcosm almost, you know, because they really did grow into the game. And then for Billy Sharp, Mr. Sheffield United, out there on the pitch to score the goal that really got the result that I think laid the foundations for what followed was absolutely perfect. You couldn't have written it better. I wish I could have written that myself.
Well, welcome to the South Coast, and for Sheffield United it's been a dream, 12 years in the making, but just 3 years under Chris Wilder to become a reality. Sheffield United start their Premier League journey at Bournemouth. The Blades are back in the big time. Can the fairy tale continue? Starting today here in the slightly more modest surrounds of the Vitality Stadium.
You might get a little bit of nervousness today, which would be understandable, but you know, he started with a back five that he trusts.
And a high punt down the middle of the park, and McGoldrick with the shot brings the save from Ramsdale on the edge of the penalty area. Well, no tippy-tappy football there. That's route one, and it almost brought the first goal.
If you look at the top teams in this division, that's the difference between them. When they get into that final third, it's there and it's quickly done. Here's a chance.
Here's McGoldrick into the penalty area, shoots low and just wide. Good effort, good take. It just lacked the necessary direction, and Sheffield United have started the second half as they did the first with a shooting chance. Home fixtures with Crystal Palace next Sunday and Leicester City 2 weeks today to come in between. In goes the cross, left by Wilson into the penalty area, and a shot, and a brilliant save by Dean Henderson, pouncing to his left-hand side. It's pushed away for a corner. Philip Billing hit it, and I think Dean Henderson has overstretched and has hurt himself in the process of making that flying save. So a free kick to Bournemouth, a two-man wall for the Blades. Bournemouth attacking the end away to our left-hand side. Bournemouth have had the best of the last couple of minutes. In goes that free kick, back stick, and an overhead kick from Ake, saved on the line by Henderson, and is squeezed in, and Bournemouth have the lead. And it's Chris Mepham, the Wales international, who fired home through a goal-mouth scramble. Well, if Sheffield United are to win on their Premier League return, they'll have to come from behind. It's Bournemouth 1, Sheffield United 0. More changes on the bench, and the captain is about to enter the fray here. Now, this is a significant tactical change. Chris Basham is coming off. Done a sterling bit of work today. Chris Basham, Billy Sharp will replace him.
Yeah, natural goal scorer. Look to see him on. I'm not sure if Billy's actually scored in the top flight, but he gets a little run out here.
Norwood down to McBurney, a little glancing flick. It's dealt with by Bournemouth, but only as far as Freeman. Freeman turns into the challenge of Billing, and the Blades have won a free kick there. Fleck and Norwood conspiring over this. It is an open stadium where, of course, most in the Premier League aren't. So Fleck, Norwood to take it. It's pushed along the deck to Baldock here at the byline. In it goes, low chance, cleared off the line. Sharp's there battling, and he scored! Billy Sharp, the Sheffield United captain, has squeezed the ball over the line. Fitting then that the boyhood Blade gets their first goal upon their return to the Premier League. It was a goal-mouth scramble, and he's done it. They've equalised with just under 2 minutes of normal time remaining. It's Bournemouth 1, Blades 1.
Well, how stunning is that? The perfect player to get the first goal of this season. That's absolutely fabulous for him. So, and nothing more than what we deserve today. We haven't been outmatched in any way whatsoever. Now get the game over with.
Can we win it?
I'll settle for this because it's a big, it's a massive point today. That's a special day for him for all what he's done in the last 2 years.
His first Premier League goal.
This will be very, very special for him.
First Premier League goal was something personally, but obviously at the Sheffield United away end, and to obviously get something out of the game for the boys was a great feeling, and something that gave us a platform to build on, especially going into our home game the week after against Crystal Palace.
Premier League football returns to the Lane, and John Lundstrom arrives with a bang to down Palace.
If I remember rightly, that first game against Crystal Palace, I think I can remember writing in the paper that, you know, it wasn't a game of football, it was an occasion. And it was an occasion, it was an event, not just for Sheffield United, and although one half of the city won't thank me for saying this, I think it was a real event for the entire city, and dare I say it, the entire region as well, because
to be thrown on at home early on in the season, especially when all the fans are super excited, will get, you know, fantastic reception. I didn't have too much to do. I think there was a couple of headers, maybe a block or so, but same again, it's just to play a part. And you know, I've still got the images of obviously celebrating at full time and the lads getting a win, and just to see what it meant in the changing room as well. You know, I've played a lot of football in my career, quite a lot in the Premier League, and a few of the boys hadn't done that previously, and to get that win so early on in the season at home was fantastic. And
we all knew what a big occasion it was going into the game, and I think you can see it in my celebration really how much it meant to me on the day. And no, it was a massive moment for me in my career, and it's I think it gave me a lot of confidence to build on going forward, and give the team a lot of confidence as well.
Well, just listen to the noise here at Bramall Lane. Ollie Norwood in his red and white striped shirt leads out Sheffield United. They veer away to the right-hand side as Crystal Palace in their colours veer away to the left-hand side. It is a cacophony of sound here underneath the sunshine here at Bramall Lane, which welcomes Premier League football for the first time in 12 years. Goalless here at Bramall Lane. Van Aanholt dispossessed by Lundstrom, done brilliantly. Chance of a cross, Lundstrom feeding it in, and a glorious opportunity for David McGoldrick, and he's fluffed his line to the cop end. He will only have seen it late, but 4 yards out, he's turned the ball into the path of a diving Guaita.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more urgency when we get round the back. As we finish the game, the crosses were that little bit better. So that's what's going to create a goal.
O'Connell, lovely ball in field. Freeman takes an excellent touch. Freeman into the middle, across. It's going to come out to John Lundstrom, and John Lundstrom scores the Blades' first goal at home back in the Premier League. What a moment for the man who's been out of the picture a lot of the time at Bramall Lane. A superb pre-season, bank-to-bank starts, excellent work on the left from Freeman, and there was Lundstrom. He took his time, found the side netting, it rolls round the back of the net, and the Blades lead Crystal Palace at Bramall Lane. 2.5 minutes gone in the second half. It's Sheffield United 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Of all the scorers, you would have never have guessed that one, but he's tucked it away lovely. Freeman's done ever so well. Well done to Lundstrom. He works hard, he stops a lot of the opposition from playing, and he's got a goal there, which is that. How special must that be in the Premiership? First goal at Bramall Lane, and listen to the noise around the stadium.
Chris Wilder stands with his arms out wide. He's waiting for the shrill of the referee's whistle. Into the centre circle it goes. Dan is there, wriggling away from McBurney into the box. Shot won't get there. Jags will marshal it behind, and the referee calls full time. Bramall Lane erupts. Bramall Lane sees its first victory of the Premier League season.
Yeah, it was incredible. One of the best I've been involved in. I look back on it sometimes and you don't quite realise when you're in the moment, because I was so zoned in, and I've watched it back since, and it's just incredible. And then obviously after the final whistle goes, you can take it all in, and being all together, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I couldn't have wished for anything more. A passionate, positive support, and a full-blooded, committed Sheffield United performance by my players, and it was going to be tough. We knew from the record from Crystal Palace last year, 7 out of 10 away, last 7 out of the last 10 away wins. Good players at the top of the pitch, real pace and real energy. I thought we were valued for a win in a tight game, and delighted to get off the mark at home.
Then McBurney gets up and running, his first in red and white, but it's Leicester's day in a tight encounter at the Lane.
Took the Blades 7 games last time they were in the Premier League to reach 4 points. Just 2 this time as Leicester have won the ball back. Maddison plays it through. Vardy 101 strikes, hits it beyond Henderson, stands in front of the cop end with his hands behind his ears. The Blades fans unhappy, of course.
Now Sharp, edge of the box. Sharp with the chance, but he has to turn his back to goal. Goes towards Norwood. Now out to the right and Baldock. Chance here for the Blades. In comes the cross. McBurney with the header! And McBurney with the equaliser for Sheffield United. That is what £20 million buys you. His first goal for the Blades. Brilliant ball in from the right. Perfect header right into the corner. Schmeichel could do nothing. And it's the Blades 1, Leicester City 1.
Well, it's only what they deserved. It was a good cross in.
On top of him. It's going to come near side here for Fuchs, who comes to the near side. Lundstrom's there, delivered back post. Soyuncu gets on it. It's going to come out to Barnes, who drills it. What a special strike that is from the former Barnsley loanee, Harvey Barnes.
The Blades then put down a marker. After going 2-0 down at Stamford Bridge, it's Robinson to the rescue to shock the Champions League chasing Chelsea.
I think that game at Stamford Bridge, I think that was the moment when the players actually realised that we've arrived in the Premier League. As big a result as the draw at Bournemouth was, as big a result as getting that first home win of the season in the first home game against Crystal Palace was, I don't think anyone can underestimate what a key afternoon that was at Stamford Bridge in what followed for the football club, because it was the first game against what you would call one of the big heavyweights in the Premier League. It was away from home. You can feel that when you arrive at the stadium, when you're walking around outside Stamford Bridge afterwards, that, this is the Premier League experience.
Raucous atmosphere here at Stamford Bridge. Just under 3,000 travelling Blades are packed in, cramped in to the shed end away to our right-hand side.
I have to say, Lundstrom started really, really well. He's confident on the ball, and that's really good to see.
Well, a lovely little back flick from Barkley in the centre circle. Releases Pulisic. Pulisic away from Barkley, and it's a good job that it was, but Azpilicueta is there on the right to cross. In it goes. Abraham at the near post, pushed away. Another shot, and it's squeezed in. And Tammy Abraham has fired Chelsea in front at Stamford Bridge through a goalmouth scramble. He hit it low and venomously. So 1-0 Chelsea as we tick towards half-time here in the capital. Now Jorginho again looking to go over the top. O'Connell and Egan get in the way, and Abraham has made it 2-0. Deadly. That's the type of finish required when chances are at a premium, and Tammy Abraham, as Egan and O'Connell get into a tangle on the edge of the penalty area, smashed it past Dean Henderson, whose hand wasn't strong enough to keep it out. And just before half-time, Sheffield United have that proverbial mountain to climb. It's Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 0.
Well, once again, yes, I have to concede. Good build-up play from Chelsea. But I'm sorry, it's just a basic error again. Communications, one's got to go for it, the other one's got to back off, and they've just handed it on a plate. Yes, you're right to say that, yeah, deadly, he gets half a chance, but two of them going for the same ball. You wouldn't have seen that in the previous division, you wouldn't have seen that earlier on.
Just cuts in past Emerson, and Lundstrom's brought into play. It's chipped forward here, and Basham's gone forward, corner of the box, he sent it in, Robinson! Oh, and a diving header into the turf and wide of goal. Sheffield United's best chance, and from close range, Callum Robinson will feel he should have scored.
Well, he would be disappointed not to hit the target, but if people think we can't play from the back into midfield, up, back and through down that right hand side, and a nice early cross, well, they'll be mistaken, because that was great play. That was by far our best move. Ideally, he wants to hit the target there.
As the Matthew Harding stand finds its voice away to our right hand side in front of the banners that say Chelsea is our religion, the referee calls half time, and there are lots for Chris Wilder and his team to ponder.
I don't want to be too negative with this. I think positive is that we're playing good spirit, we've kept the ball on occasions, and we have actually created a few things in that first half. So if we can just... Here we go.
Ender Stevens into the box, chance, Robinson buries it, and Sheffield United are back into the game. Seconds into the second half, and Callum Robinson steers his shot past Ariza Balaga in the Chelsea goal, and a lifeline at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 1.
Well, confidence-wise, that'll do us a power of good, and it just proves if you can get behind defenders, you can create chances, you can score goals from that, and that's a great boost to the second half that we needed, because it was slightly disappointing, and I think Chris would have had quite a few words to have been said in that half-time, and I did touch on the fact that he'll get the right response. I didn't think he'd get it that early.
Pretty quick though, isn't it? I mean, less than 90 seconds. Goes into a jump on the edge of the box with Azpilicueta, who's won it back. Inside right channel of the penalty area. Abraham, glorious save! Still danger not averted here. Emerson battling on the left-hand side will pick up the ball to Kovacic. In goes the cross. The header away by Basham on this occasion. The board is raised. Freeman is coming off, Luke Freeman, and Lys Mousset is coming on. So power and pace, and something of an intriguing signing given the money that he's cost from Bournemouth. Here's Stevens. Stevens looks up, looks to his left, drops his shoulder, nudges his way past Pulisic and out towards Norwood. Norwood cuts in past Frank Lampard. Down the line it goes. Here's Robinson, takes on Azpilicueta. Lovely turn from Robinson. In goes the cross, teasing Mousset, and he's equalised. Sheffield United back on terms at Stamford Bridge. It's pandemonium at the shed end as Sheffield United's £10 million signing gets a glancing touch to the ball to send the travelling Blades fans and the bench into absolute raptures here. All square at the bridge. Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 2.
Put the ball in where it hurts, put it in early, somebody gets across somebody, gets on the end of it, and it invariably makes a good opportunity, and that's exactly what we've done. Pleased for this lad. I did point out that he was very quick, he looked very useful against Blackburn. I think he's going to be more than useful. That's a great ball in, but
yeah, I keep doing my own thing, yeah, never looking back again. I can get it, I can make it, yeah, I know it, and I'm never looking back again.
It's a great result for us, you know. I think we have to put it into perspective. We were 3 years ago, we were bottom of League One. And now we feel that, you know, on our second half performance, we've come away from Stamford Bridge, Chelsea, with a result. So I'm delighted for everybody connected to the football club, most importantly the supporters.
It's disappointment back at the Lane as VAR denies the Blades. More about that later. This game could have gone either way, but it's the Saints who stole the point.
In it comes from Norwood, teasing ball, on a chance and a goal! Sheffield United have scored. One or two quick glances to the assistant referee, but it's Ollie McBurney, the £20 million man, as Southampton's defence stood still, who sends the ball into the net.
Yeah, they are checking the goal here at Bramall Lane, so clearly they will be checking for offside, and indeed that goal has been chalked off for VAR. So
I'm not surprised. Having seen the replay, it looked offside on the replay.
This is Billy Sharp's 5th Premier League appearance. 2 of those 5 Premier League appearances were for Southampton. All of them have been off the bench. Here's Genepo wriggling his way into the penalty area. He shoots and he scored! And the Malian buries it past Dean Henderson.
Prince Abdullah, in July of next year, Sheffield United have to acquire the assets, the ground, the training ground, and the other 2 or 3 assets. How will that be paid for?
I think it's too early to answer that question because first we didn't agree yet on a price for those real estate assets. But I will handle it. I have no worries. I mean, I think that it's very important to me that the assets be joined with the club, and that will be done. I don't see any worries.
Then the Blades hit the road, and in some style. There's some help though from the home side, but there's nothing lucky about Mousset's finish as the Blades down Everton at Goodison.
No, it was a tough game on the day. Away at Everton, it's a historic club, and no, it was a tough game. But thankfully we fought through. We got an early goal, and then it was the last 10-15 minutes of put Moose through. It was obviously a big moment for me, going back to my boyhood club and putting in a performance the way we did. It was a good day.
Yeah, obviously as soon as the fixture list come out, it was looking forward to going back to Goodison. Unfortunately, it wasn't the starting 11, but like I say, warmed up, got a pretty decent reception from the home fans, which was really nice. But thankfully for me, the manager, well, the team first and foremost were winning 1-0, and the manager thought it'd be a good idea to put me on. I got a pretty decent slot in the second half, and I managed to play my part in a fantastic professional away performance at a really tough place to go. So as much as obviously personally it was fantastic to get obviously the reception and the memories for myself, but it was just as important for me afterwards. Obviously going into the changing room, we kept a clean sheet, I played my part, and we come away with 3 points. So fantastic away performance and something that obviously gave us a lot of momentum throughout the year.
Sheffield United, the team news is in, of course. One change for the Blades, Robinson in from a goal drink. We are underway here on Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield at Goodison Park in the sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. Here's Keane. Moist Keane with a back heel to Richarlison. Seamus Coleman across the middle. It's played out from Bernard, edge of the area. Delph and Sigurdsson got in each other's ways to the left. Ferdinand, fierce shot, palmed down by Dean Henderson. It's away from Besham, and it's out for an Everton corner, far side, their 3rd of the game.
To beat Everton here, yeah.
Sigurdsson from the right hand side. Keane's there, gets above Egan and Basham. Baldock goes across there and does well to outstrength Bernard. The two come together far side, both of them exchange pushes and shoves. in front of the Sheffield United fans. Simon Hooper going across there. A few of the Everton players going across there to have a go at George Baldock. Luca Digne and Dean Henderson grappling with each other. Some work to do here for Simon Hooper. John Lundstrom works the ball back to Ollie Norwood. Norwood pings a pass up to the left for Ender Stevens. Stevens to the byline. It's going to come off for Richarlison. It's going to go behind, and it's the first Blades corner of the game. Norwood comes across to take this. 5.5 to the break. Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Norwood's corner is into the middle, and it's going to be headed into their own net. I think it's a own goal. The Blades are celebrating. Simon Hooper says there's going to have a bit of a look at it through VAR, but it's the Blades fans who celebrate. Robinson was closest. I think it might be Mina who got the last touch. Simon Hooper with his finger to his ear. We wait to see if the goal is given for the Blades from the corner kick.
Goes our way, but here we are.
Still wait, and the goal has been given. Sheffield United do lead here at Goodison Park. It's their first goal in the first half of games. Back in the top flight. It comes from the corner from Norwood. There's some congratulations in there for Chris Basham as well. We'll see who it eventually gets credited to. Sigurdsson with the corner. This one a little deeper towards the back post. Good heading from Basham. Digne comes in, helps it into the area. McBurney's back there. Basham trying to get the ball away. Richarlison over the top. Henderson comes out and blocks well against Keane. Had to do it. Lost the ball in the sunshine. But another corner for Everton. John Fleck tries to go between two. Iwobi plays it into the middle for Keane. Blocking the box. Going to be a turn from Tosson. Brilliant block there inside the area. It's White towards goal. They have foul on Stevens. It was Jagielka who did excellently well just on the edge of his 6-yard box. Moving forward, put up by Lundstrom. Mousset is beat to the ball by Mina. Here's Lundstrom to the near side, who's really impressed on his return to Goodison Park today. He will ping the ball into the area for Mousset, who's onside and slips the ball through the legs of Jordan Pickford. The lightning pace of Lys Mousset doubles the Blades' lead at Goodison Park. He finally gets his first goal in Sheffield United colours. He thought he'd got it at the bridge, but he gets it at Goodison Park. Boos from the Toffees fans, delirium from the Blades on the far side. Listen to this scoreline with 11 minutes to go. It's Everton 0, Sheffield United 2.
Always fancied him that pace, and I have to say, one or two questions were asked. Chris saw something in Lundstrom, and he's worked his socks off today. He's done a lot of graft that had to be done because we were being under a little pressure, but he's used the ball extremely well there. He's just looked at that and thought, this lad's got pace to burn, so I'm just going to push it in that little corner there. He's curled it around, and what a great little finish as well.
Hooper, Sigurdsson towards the back post. Header is in there from Jagielka, comes up to the edge of the area, appeals for hands from the shot forward by Walcott, but there's the full-time whistle. Jubilation from the Blades. They win on the road, back in the top flight for the first time this season. They're unbeaten in the top flight at the start of a campaign for 3 games for the first time in 47 years. Everton's 6-match winning streak at home is well and truly over.
The champions-elect are next in town. A rare slip from Henderson, yes, but they're not disgraced as Liverpool are pushed all the way.
The Liverpool game, we put on a good performance, didn't get anything out of the game, but it showed that we can mix it with the better teams in the league, and it gave us something to grow and to get more confidence from in that game as well.
Yeah, it was massive, and especially for me being a Liverpool fan, and I had loads of family and friends in the away end, and then obviously the close family in the home end, and yeah, it was an unbelievable occasion playing against Liverpool for the first time in my career. I got man of the match that game, even though we got beat 1-0, but yeah, it was a real special occasion for me.
I think the game against Liverpool again will have filled the players and the football club as a whole, I think, and the supporters with so much belief. That was a game where you really felt this is not just a team of 11 players or a matchday squad of 18 that's going out there on the pitch. You could almost feel this was an afternoon where they've got 30-odd thousand people almost down there on the pitch with them as well.
have to keep possession just a little bit better.
Well, now potentially, if you get an opportunity, you have to take it, as McBurney into the penalty area on his right boot, bends one, and in the end it's a save for Adrian to make. The first real opportunity of the game goes Sheffield United's way. Liverpool, who have done superbly well at the start of this season, beating Chelsea last weekend. Mane's ridden Basham's challenge on the edge of the penalty area, and a brilliant, absolutely brilliant challenge from Chris Basham out there, sliding in to take the ball away from Andy Robertson. Well, Sheffield United have it at the moment. The scoreline is 0-0, and there's Fleck with a little space to work with here, and a great ball through to Robertson to hit one! Oh, and it screams across the face of goal and wide. Back to Lundstrom. Fabinho chases after the ball as it goes back to Egan, who slipped, but he put his head in where it hurts and will try and challenge Fabinho again. Liverpool gifted possession in the middle third, and Liverpool capitalise and counter-attack. Here's Salah trying to slip it through, gets a lucky ricochet onto Firmino on his right boot, picks out Mane, who hits the post, back out to Firmino. Glorious sliding challenge, beautifully timed by John Fleck. And it's out on the far side. Ender Stevens now down the line to Mousse. Quick ball through the middle, and Sheffield United marauding here. John Fleck bears down on goal, turns his man, shoots, and it's blocked by the legs of the defender, out to Lundstrom, who shoots on the volley, and Van Dijk is there to block. How many more chances before Sheffield United score? They're opening Liverpool up for fun here. Here's Baldock, who wins it back away from Origi, and the cross is fizzed in and claimed by Adrian. Makes a first touch, second to bring in Origi, just outside the penalty area. Up it goes, up the heads go. There's O'Connell, out to Wijnaldum, all through the legs of Henderson, and it's gone in. Liverpool lead here at Bramall Lane. 7 minutes of this tie, the chances Sheffield United haven't taken. Liverpool have had a couple as well, but not nearly as many as Liverpool, who go through here through Salah, and it's a brilliant save by Dean Henderson, who has a big high five from Ender Stevens, and he whips the crowd into life. Forward here, down the line it goes to Fleck. Fleck will tease it forward, Clark's ghosting through. Oh goodness me. From the edge of the 6-yard box, Leon Clark slipped in, made contact, and skies the opportunity. To say Sheffield United have done everything but score is now becoming an understatement.
Leon Clark, you have the chance to make yourself an absolute hero. My word, I mean, you won't get a better chance than that. We said not 5 minutes ago.
Solid on the road again as they do battle with the Hornets at Vicarage Road. Point gained, mission complete. On to the next one.
In for Lundstrom, who'd made a good run. Gray to Welbeck, who slipped it past Egan. Gray to his left. What a chance this is. Danny Welbeck. Well, he had to slide Gray in. That's what Gray is saying. But Welbeck will say, look, it's a clean run in on goal.
The lane under the lights and in front of the cameras. It's showtime, and the man of the moment again is Mousse, as Arsenal are stunned.
I just remember it being electric before the game. I mean, we come out to warm up, and there'd been the stuff in the past with Arsenal and Sheffield United, you know, the FA Cup games and the season that they were in the Premier League and they beat them 1-0, and you know all the history behind it, and you know the fans and everybody saying Arsenal Monday night in Sheffield, cold, would they fancy it? You know, all these things, and it was just a magical night at Bramall Lane.
Monday night at Bramall Lane is off and underway. It's Sheffield United against Arsenal. The Blades in this first half here will defend at the Kop end. Now the barrel-chested Jack O'Connell swings the ball out to Ender Stevens, just in front of a gesticulating Unai Emery on the edge of the technical area. Now back out to Ender Stevens again. Great looking ball to Mousse, who plays it intricately with Fleck and tries to shape the chance to get the ball back. Here it comes again from Ender Stevens, off the defender David Luiz, and it's another Blades corner.
Hopefully we'll do better this time.
So it's another corner to Sheffield United. The cross hangs high, and it's gone in, and Sheffield United have taken the lead, and it's Lys Mousse on the line who nudges the ball past Bernd Leno, the German goalkeeper, and Sheffield United in front at a raucous Bramall Lane. 30 gone, Blades 1, Arsenal 0.
Well, it's what we wanted, and that was the best corner kick we've had. Everyone's been cut out on the near post. The first time we've got something at the back. I think it was a great header. I think it was Egan. I feel for you now, because it was hard to see who it is, and yeah, Mousset's just got his final touch on it.
Well, they are checking it as they have to, but there is no doubt he is very much onside, played on by Xhaka, and then a tap in, and Sheffield United lead by a goal to nil. They then waits and watches as Louise takes a position in the penalty area. It's rolled along the deck, flicked on by Xhaka. Aubameyang was there to be teed up, but the Blades anticipated it, and the ball is cleared away. Here's Saka, the youngster for Arsenal, just 18, into the penalty area. He glides on past Egan, goes down, and is adjudged to have dived and gets a yellow card by referee Mike Dean.
Well, what I will say about that, I thought he may give that, but he's in a great position. You have to say, the position that he is in from a referee's point of view, and I'm not a fully qualified referee, he was in the perfect position to see that.
Out to Chambers, right corner of the penalty area as we enter added time. 2 minutes of added time on the half volley. Xhaka is there, and it's parried away by Henderson. A Hollywood save as it's parried away for a corner. Great for the cameras, great for Henderson's confidence.
Yes, it was, and it's a great save as well. He's got in the perfect position. I have to say, it's a beautiful strike as well. Anybody looking at that on a regular basis will see that that technique is perfect.
Gone down the centre to Lundstrom, left by McGoldrick, then the shot! Oh, and into the side netting from Fleck. Would have been beautiful, hit like a rocket, but into the side netting.
Yeah, from this angle it looked great, didn't it? But yeah, just slightly wide. But you know, you look at all that football that we've just played there. If teams like Arsenal do that, that will be highlighted.
But here's Billy Sharp, unmarked on halfway. Now John Lundstrom takes a little stumble as he works his way down the line. Then the referee Mike Dean blows his whistle for the drag back on Sharp. And a quickly taken free kick by Norwood. Fleck 25 yards out. He shoots! Spilled by the keeper. McGoldrick's going in, and Leno recovers.
Yeah, great effort, wasn't it? Beautiful strike, and you know, you get him on target, and that's the type of thing what can happen. But
flicked infield now to Saka, the youngster. Saka will turn behind the centre circle. The boos and the whistles reverberate around Bramall Lane. All eyes on Mike Dean now in added time at the end of the game here, as Martinelli takes the ball on for Kolasinac to the byline. He's weaved his way into the box. Baldock shields it well, and then Basham's clearance comes off an Arsenal player, and out of play it goes for a goal kick to the Blades.
Well, you can just listen in the background to the reaction of the crowd for that winning that goal kick. There can't be long left. What a huge 3 points this would be.
So Dean Henderson taking his time over this goal kick. Why not take it to the left-hand side of the 6-yard box? Well, Mike Dean blows his whistle to tell Dean Henderson to get a move on here. Sheffield United 1, Arsenal 0, deep in added time. Henderson looks up and Bramall Lane roars Sheffield United to victory. A statement of intent from Sheffield United, who've beaten Arsenal by a goal to nil. Lys Mousset with the goal in the first half. There have been thrills, there have been spills, but in the second half, Sheffield United couldn't have been more comfortable against a side like Arsenal. This is some victory here at Bramall Lane tonight, thoroughly and richly deserved for the men in red and white. It's Sheffield United 1, Arsenal 0.
It's been fantastic reward for quite a long journey, you know, beating one of the big teams at home on a night match at Bramall Lane, a full packed house that were unbelievably behind the players, and yeah, I think we've deserved to win a tight game. You know, we've created some good chances. We knew that they're going to have a lot of ball, and so they should with the amount of quality that they've got on show. It was good for us, obviously, to get us noses in front and to hang on to something, and we did. But you know, I thought we got the balance right tonight, and we had to put in a big performance and get a big result.
A first set back in London, but this team never lies down. Mousset can't stop scoring as his striker earns another well-deserved point at West Ham.
United. They nearly cut West Ham apart there, but they could be in trouble now. Here's Snodgrass at the other end. Snodgrass sliding it under Henderson, and West Ham United, just like that, take the lead at the London Stadium just before half-time. A break from the home side, and for once, defensively, Sheffield United just weren't there
he will have, well, not in this ground he won't, but he'll have great memories of coming to the capital and doing well.
Sharp gets it from Mousset, 25 yards from goal now. Can he work it to the right and Baldock? He can. Baldock takes a touch, then gets the cross in. It's the near post, heads go up. It might drop here for Sheffield United. Mousset with the drive, and it's in! Lys Mousset with the equaliser for Sheffield United. Goalkeeper, despairing dive, couldn't get there. Into the side netting, right into the corner from Lys Mousset. A deserved equaliser for the Blades, who are level thanks to the substitute Lys Mousset. West Ham 1, Sheffield United 1.
Well, by being positive, and Chris is always like that. Once he goes a goal behind, sticks a few on, he allows McGoldrick to come back just to drop into midfield. It'd be interesting to see how West Ham respond to this, because they're a crowd that get onto the team very, very quickly. They'll be very, very disappointed, looking for a comfortable win. Well, you don't have a comfortable time against Sheffield United, and I have to say that's it come at a difficult height, but he's got it on target and he's knocked it into the far corner.
A first half to remember on home soil. It's Fleck to the fore for the Blades, whilst Lundstrom bags a brace too, as United run riot over Burnley.
Yeah, obviously I had a good start to the game, came out the box very quick, especially the first half, as you say, and managed to get 3 early goals.
Yeah, definitely. I think that day, it was an all-round probably one of our best performances of the year, individually for me and collectively. We were really in top form, and really happy to have got the 2 goals, but I think even whether I got the 2 goals or not, it would have been an incredible performance, and now it's one I'll always look back on and cherish.
There wasn't a huge, there wasn't a great deal of razzmatazz surrounding the fixture, but they approached that game in exactly the right way.
So Pope in goal, Lowton, Tarkowski, Mee and Peters, with Hendrick, Westwood, Cork, McNeil, Rodriguez and Barnes as the referee blows his whistle. This Premier League fixture gets off and underway. It's the 3-5-2 of Sheffield United versus the slightly more old school 4-4-2 of Burnley. Dean Henderson. And given the way he started this season, the stats back that up as well. He'll be after a 5th clean sheet of the season, Dean Henderson. And David McGoldrick's away down the left-hand side. In it goes Mousset, ball teed up to Lundstrom, and Sheffield United have the lead. John Lundstrom with an arrow drive into Nick Pope's bottom corner. I don't even think the goalkeeper moved, and the outstanding start has brought the goal it deserved, and it's Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0.
Oh, what a goal, beautiful passing movement, composure, great crossing, just got the ball into the box, and it's found himself. And once again, Lundstrom, the up to now our player of the season in many respects. I know I'm most really getting ahead of myself by saying something like that, but the fact that he's got into these goal scoring positions and added that to his game, that's absolutely great.
Well, a leaden-footed Pope and into the bottom of the goal, so the Blades lead by 1-0 here. Their overall performance has been one of superiority over Burnley. They've looked better in possession, and a lovely disguised attempt to pass the ball, just evading trouble from Westwood and Norwood, and the Blades have it with O'Connell. Down the line it comes to Egan, into McGoldrick, a lovely give and go between the 2 Republic of Ireland internationals. Then it goes into the box, Mousset, chance again, Lundstrom's there, and Lundstrom's got his 2nd goal. Right place, right time, man bang in form, and the Blades lead Burnley by 2-0.
Yet again, great goal, good movement, good passing right across the ground. It's a nice skiddy surface, so that causes problems for Burnley. What a great ball, nice early ball. Once again, I touched on the fact that I like to see the ball get in early. I think it causes the back 4 of Burnley more problems. And once again, Lundstrom in the right place at the right time for a nice little side foot in. The fact that you move your body, get closer to the goal, you get goals.
He hardly ever played in the Championship, yet in the Premier League he is undroppable.
That's the reason, whatever Chris does, you can't question it, no matter what he does.
So, football heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Blades 2, Burnley 0. 43 gone here at Bramall Lane, and Mousse wins it back, and he's turned the ball off Tarkowski beautifully, and Fleck's coasting to the edge of the penalty area. Yeah. He shoots! It's brilliant! It's absolutely brilliant against Burnley. John Fleck races to the John Street stand with a big fist pump. It's quite simple.
I just remember, I think Moose getting the ball. It was maybe 5 yards. Just inside the opposition half, and for whatever reason just started sprinting forward, and thankfully he played the perfect pass, and I had it first time across the keeper and obviously rolled it into the bottom corner, which was great.
John Fleck with his first ever Premier League goal.
Well, if there's ever a player deserves it in his form of his life, and the passing, all the games that we've watched this man play, and yes, he finally gets a cap for Scotland, and I can't believe they couldn't see that before.
Remember what we said about VAR? United are toes width away from a famous win as Baldock's first goal of the season gives the Blades a point at Spurs.
Yeah, going back to that Tottenham game, one of the main things that come from that game was our performance. I thought that, we was right in the game going to Tottenham in a new stadium, big fans, it didn't daunt us at all, and I think it was one of our best performances all around, the way we passed the ball, the way we was there for each other, and we got a result at the end of the day, but it could have been more.
Yeah, I think it was probably my most memorable game. It was my favourite game. I remember walking out, and it's just the kind of stadium you want to play in. You work so hard to get to the Premier League, and you go to places like that, and obviously being in a new stadium, it was just a great occasion, and to put on a show like we did, and to pass the ball like we did, and really stamp our authority on the game and the way we play, it was really good. And then obviously to get the goal, more relief than anything. So the anger could be mistaken for just a bit of relief. And yeah, we could have gone on and won it as well. We were just unlucky on that day, but we really truly believe we belong in the Premier League after that result.
Will be a corner to Sheffield United. Goalless here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 29.5 minutes of the game played in the rain. In comes the corner from the right. It's headed away by Davison Sanchez and will be immediately dispatched by Norwood. An angled drive out towards Fleck again. First time cross from Norwood. It's into the penalty area. Brought under control by Jack O'Connell. Edge of the box. Lundstrom off the post. Mousse off a defender and wide. How on earth are Sheffield United not leading here at Spurs?
That was a great effort. I mean, he's on fire, this young man. He's gone into midfield, he gets forward, he's praying for it to be pulled back. It is, and he's smashed it against the post. And they'll have got a great view of it, as you do in this kind of stadium. But yeah, they'll be thrilled with their team's performance up to now.
Well, it is goalless. 51 minutes gone, and now McGoldrick down the line onto Mousse, who's onside. He needs some support. He cuts into the penalty area. Mousse turns. Can he get the shot away? He can! Oh, it's across the face of goal and wide. He did everything right in build-up, and as he turned, he's dragged his shot across the face of goal. He flopped to the ground and rattled his fist into the turf as another chance goes begging. It's again in the central position, middle of Sheffield United's half of the pitch. A great delayed pass there by Dele Alli. It's come through to Son, and it's under the legs of Dean Henderson, and Tottenham Hotspur against the run of play have the lead, and it's Son who gets his 6th goal of the season. Well, they're pretty good at snapping back to get draws, Sheffield United away from home. They did at Chelsea, they did at West Ham. Well, they're going to have to do so at the very least here if they want a point against Spurs. Now Egan zipping the ball along the deck, out towards Baldock, and he leaves it for McGoldrick. Sheffield United in Spurs half of the pitch. Norwood looks up, orchestrator, plays a tidy ball out towards the far side as Baldock comes. The Spurs fans find their voice on the overlap. The cross comes in, out to the edge of the penalty area. Fleck with a first time pass into Stevens, teasing ball in, chance, and a goal, and an immediate response from Sheffield United as David McGoldrick couldn't miss. That was the chance he craved to get his first goal of the Premier League season, and it's all square at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What a comeback. Spurs won, Blades won.
Well, you called it, Andy. You said they wouldn't lay down and die for it, and we were straight back into it. And not only that, great play, great football, good passing, and a super ball in from Stevens. I'm thrilled for McGoldrick because he has really deserved it. All his link-up play, and it's a nice easy push in at the far post there.
But there will be a check. They are checking this VAR, this goal via VAR, possibly for an offside. One would assume.
This is where I think it surely has to be a little bit. Once there's a goal scored, go and check it. How many seconds does it take, and then we're done with it? Because I think we just sat here at a complete standstill, and for me it should be quicker than this.
Half tempted to do it myself. Get a move on.
I suppose in their favour you've got to say this is how close it is. I mean, we're talking millimetres here, and
we are talking yes, millimetres.
That shouldn't decide whether it's offside or onside, in my opinion, because that doesn't affect the rest of all this play. From there, so much has to happen.
Well, the referee Graham Scott still has the referee.
Oh, that is.
And he's disallowed the goal.
That is ruining football.
Yeah, millimetres has denied David McGoldrick his first ever Premier League goal.
That is ludicrous.
So Chris Wilder has a look of resignation. He's just shrugged his shoulders.
Well done, Chris. That will be shown tonight, time and time again. And the distance between onside and offside that is killing the game.
Winks 20 yards out, bends one towards goal, but it's straight at Henderson. Look, you and I don't like VAR. I know a lot of fans don't like VAR, and I would agree wholeheartedly with the sentiment that it's killing the game. All the Spurs fans, everybody was booing the fact that it was taking ages to make the decision. Is the decision right? Yes, it is. It is adjudged a free kick for offside via millimetres.
Yeah,
millimetres that the naked eye couldn't see, so by that is not in any way clear and obvious.
Yep. And you're only saying it's right because you're going through the letter of the law.
Letter of the law, yeah.
And it's ludicrous that it's happened that way. Your hand, a finger could be in an offside position, so therefore it's offside. And you've got to remember where that ball's travelled from.
The other thing is, and final point on this for now, 1 week the bar is ridiculously low.
Yeah.
Off you go, you're fine. The next week the bar is set to such an nth degree. It's ridiculously high, and that's inevitably what's happened today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It'll just give somebody on Sky to talk about it all day long.
Here's McGoldrick now. Can he instigate a chance out towards Baldock? Teasing ball in, and the Blades have scored! It's gone in! They have their equalising goal! George Baldock, as he tossed the ball into the danger zone. I'm not entirely sure it got another touch on its way through. Baldock certainly claiming it. Basham was the closest in red and white. Baldock's getting the congratulations for his teammates, and it's terms again at Tottenham. Spurs 1, Blades 1. God, there's never on this earth. From where...
I'm 62, I can't see them lines as clearly as you, so I'll take your word for it. But this is not a football match anymore.
Well, John, George Baldock is clenching his fist.
Thank you for giving us that goal.
The goal stands. Well, after all of that, heart and soul of football. Let's have some of that back, eh?
Yeah.
Into the middle of the park now with Son making a breakthrough up to the edge of the penalty area. Basham goes in on him. Son goes down. Basham makes his challenge. Even Son didn't get up and complain that should have been a penalty. You might as well do with VAR. And a shift of the body for Winks. And Spurs manoeuvre their attack to the left. Here's Son, who opened the scoring here. It's pushed into the feet of Moura. Moura skips past two and lets rip! Oh, and he's seen his shot. Tipped over by Henderson. If that is a save, it is a world-class save from Dean Henderson. Hits it high to the edge of the penalty area. Headed away. And the referee calls full time. The boos ring around here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but Sheffield United get a more than creditable point here against Tottenham Hotspur. And then the Blades players go over to their travelling supporters and return the clapping and the cheering. They will be delighted by another strong away showing, arguably the best of the lot. And it's finished here, Tottenham 1, Sheffield United 1.
I thought we were a better side today, and we've come to Tottenham, and I thought we were outstanding. I thought reaction to obviously the disappointment of John Lundstrom's big toe being offside. I didn't understand. I thought there was as I said, a reset in there, and I thought that should have been reset for the second phase of play. But I understand, as I said, from John's point being offside on that. But I thought the reaction to that was just tells you everything about my team.
A classic. You won't forget this one in a hurry. United in dreamland thanks to Fleck and Moose. But back come the visitors, only for Ollie McBurney to snatch a late leveller in a 6-goal thriller against the Red Devils.
Yeah, another weird one. Obviously, not getting any sort of game time starts and things, but trying to be prepared for when I'd be thrown in, and obviously with Eags getting suspended, 1 game ban, I was going to get the opportunity to, so it'd be nice to get obviously a really easy game at home against Man U. Everything was going to plan. Game plan was working. My lads were full of confidence. Winning the game, a little bit of a canter, and as you said, I think we did sort of fall asleep. They turned the game up. As soon as they scored, they put us under a lot of pressure and obviously went ahead. But we showed the character which we showed throughout last season to come back, and obviously the emotion obviously when Ollie scored and the camaraderie between all the squad and stuff, a fantastic moment. And it's I've been in many moments, especially at Bramall Lane, underneath the floodlights and the atmosphere and things like that. And that obviously we'll stand up there with some of the best ones. And I say it laid the foundations for us to not be scared of anyone in this league, and we proved that throughout the season.
Yeah, played like say Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United. So we played most of them, and but the Man United looked like it was going to be a victory, and then looked like we were going to end up losing. But to show good character again and get something out of the game was a special night at Bramall Lane. I was lucky enough to get on that game and be part of that as well. So, and obviously the Arsenal game was a great result, and just again it showed that we've got no fear and enjoying yourself and getting good results at Bramall Lane, which is what Sheffield United are known for.
A full house at Bramall Lane under the lights. There's not much better than that against Man United. Like you said, the boys were unbelievable for 60 minutes and completely blew United out of the water. And then I think the gaffer put me on, and then it went to 3-2 to them. I was thinking, oh no, I'm in trouble here. I think I need to pull something out of the hat here. And then I think it came up the other day, and I watched it, and I think Ender's done really well on the left. Chopped in, dug a ball out, and then Cal's great feet, and he's dug a ball out as well. And then I've chested it and managed to get the shot off, and it's gone in. The celebrations, but then obviously the VAR is kind of, can we celebrate? And I think a few of our boys thought I'd handballed it as well, so they were celebrating with us. And a couple of decisions had already gone against us with VAR, so I think the boys were thinking not again. And then the celebration of kind of the double celebration. We've already done one celebration. We get to celebrate the VAR as well. Was a special feeling. But like I said, Bramall Lane under the lights, full house against one of the biggest clubs in the world, and to watch the boys play like that for so long. I think a draw is the least that we deserved in that game, and to be able to help the team out and get an equaliser in that fashion in the last minute is a special feeling. And I think that's when we kind of realised that we're here, we're in the Prem, we're like we can compete with the big boys, and we're kind of here to stay.
Well, Bramall Lane is in full voice as Manchester United, well, they might not be the team to beat right now, but with 13 Premier League titles, they're certainly the team of the Premier League era. Right now, Sheffield United are higher in the table by 2 places and 1 point, and may never have a better chance to beat them. Andre Mariner blows his whistle, and Sheffield United against Manchester United in the mist at Bramall Lane is off and underway. The Blades typically looking to make their fast start as McGoldrick crosses in underneath the Bramall Lane end, and it's an early grab for David De Gea in goal for Manchester United today, and he's released it to this near side, and Brandon Williams, he was superb against Brighton in the match they had prior to the international break. It's why he's retained his place in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's starting 11, despite the fact that Ashley Young is once again available to them. £100 well spent. Here are Sheffield United on the attack, down the far side, the left. The ball is chipped into Lundstrom on the volley, and it's parried away by De Gea. Great chance, another cross. McGoldrick, saved by De Gea. What does he have to do to score, David McGoldrick? He's brought a world-class save from the Spaniard. Sheffield United unlucky not to be leading.
Well, you're right, that is a world-class save, isn't it? It's stunning, but I have to say, and I don't want it to sound overcritical, but he should score from there. That's a clear header. He's got to get it. Well, I'm just looking at it again, and he hasn't done a lot wrong, McGoldrick. But he's headed it back where it come from, and that's good common sense. So, great save, and all of a sudden went from going a little bit dull. It's got
This is a VAR now changing their tune with the farcical way in which it's been administered. Here at Brummel Lane, it's 0-0 in the mist as Mousse comes forward, taking on Jones, driving past him into the penalty area. Jones goes down, it's going to be a kick. Well, surely he went down. He went down rather than was shoved. Mousse looks at the ground in frustration. We'll get to see that again. Well, Mousse turned and tore away to the edge of the penalty area. They had a coming together, and Jones, well, it's almost as if he fell over. Well, there is minor contact.
We get the opportunity to see this again. See, it's like Jones has manhandled Mousse. Mousse hasn't done anything towards any other player. He's just simply a lot quicker than the pair of them. So, yeah, that's a bit hard done by that. Not sure if it would warrant a penalty in many respects, but no, surprised at that.
Well, here's Norwood again going long. Mousse trying to get the better of Jones for pace again, and he's nudged him off the ball. It's outstanding. Mousse tees up the chance. Lundstrom saved by De Gea, and Fleck has scored. Brilliant following up by Sheffield United, and John Fleck is there to score underneath the cop end. Fabulous tenacity from Mousse. Initially the ball was saved by De Gea, but there's John Fleck to nudge him. He couldn't fail to score from close range, and it's another big moment in this iconic season as Sheffield United lead Manchester United by 1-0.
Well, put that down to Mousse, chasing a lost cause. He's pacey. He's certainly got the beating of the Manchester United back three for pace, that's for sure. He's used it to great effect there, kept going, and he's won it across. But didn't look as if there was a lot on for him. At one stage, it took a while for the players to get into the box. But what a wonderful occasion for Fleck, who was with us in Division 1. Who comes along and scores a great goal in front of the Kop. And it doesn't really matter what half we play in, we always perform well.
Well, Sheffield United are leading Manchester United by 1-0 from the left-hand side. He gets it back again from Williams. Thought about taking a shot, whips it onto his right boot, hits the shot from 30 yards. Simon Moore made the dive, but it was always rising, and it ends up of row G of the Kop.
Yeah.
Well, here they are, coming forward from the back with Lindelof. He brings in Wan-Bissaka tight to the touchline. Pereira goes into a 50-50 challenge with Mousse and loses possession. Fleck, beautiful ball onto Mousse, who careers to the edge of the box and shoots! Oh, it's beautiful! What a hit from Lys Mousse! A truly outstanding goal for Sheffield United as it's buried past one of the world's best goalkeepers, David De Gea. A flying start to the second half in an otherwise brilliant performance, and it's Sheffield United 2, Manchester United 0.
Well, what a goal from a player that as soon as I clapped eyes on him and when he come on for the first time, I thought something about this lad I like, and he's very positive, he's very quick, and lovely play from Fleck as well, not forgetting who set it up. So good movement from McGoldrick as well. He actually took a defender away, and that allowed the space to open up for him. But absolutely brilliant, and listen to this crowd, how they're enjoying themselves. I don't think we've ever seen times like this here. With all respect to Dave Bassett and brilliant manager, Neil Warnock, brilliant manager, but these times I haven't seen as good as players this ever.
Well, it's turning into one of those days at Brummel Lane. Martial feeds James on the corner of the penalty area, takes on into Stevens, up goes the cross, Rashford's there, beat in the air, and a chance and a goal! And it's the youngster, Brandon Williams, who gets a lifeline for Manchester United at Brummel Lane. Lingard here, they're trying to stretch the Sheffield United defence left and right, and now Rashford teased it in, and a chance, and an equalising goal! And Mason Greenwood, the teenager, was there 4
to knock the ball past Simon Moore. Well, here's Fred behind the centre circle. Out it goes to Williams, who got one of the goals that brought Manchester United back into it. 2-2 then could be a grandstand finish here. Can Sheffield United turn the tide? Manchester United goes in and a shot, and Marcus Rashford has fired the ball into the back of the net. Manchester United have turned this game around. Sheffield United were leading by 2-0, but Marcus Rashford, the England international, has levered the ball in from close range, and now Manchester United lead here by 3-2. So here's a towering header up and away by Jack O'Connell, and McBurney with his head distributes the ball to Fleck. Fleck shielding the ball from the attentions of the defender James, who's got back to help out Wan-Bissaka. Sheffield United have it, and it's pulled into the middle of the park. Here things might open up for the Blades here as Norwood is brought into play, and he's zipped the ball out wide. A good arcing pass to Ender Stevens, who's beaten Dan James. Ball into the middle, Fleck takes control, might wriggle through here to Callum Robinson. Ball stabbed to McBurney, and he scored! Late drama at Bramall Lane, and Ollie McBurney, the £20 million man, volleys towards goal, and David De Gea couldn't keep it out. Bramall Lane erupts in volume as the Blades get a deserved equaliser right on 90 minutes. It's Sheffield United 3, Manchester United 3.
What a game! What a game! I don't know what we're all waiting for. It must be going to VAR, because if there's a possibility it might have hit his hand, but this is what I don't like about.
Well, they are checking for handball. It looks as though, and it's hit his knee, it's rolled up the front of his body, and then he's volleyed it towards goal, and it's volleyed in. They are checking this goal. They can't give it that, sure.
No, the game's gone for if things like this get.
Well, Andre Mariner, as they sure, it's hit his body, it's hit his knee, hasn't it? Rolled up his chest, and then
top of his shoulder, right shoulder. The game's, well, everybody's saying what I was about to say then, but
and his arm is behind, so it's not out wide like the one in the Liverpool game. I'm not entirely sure it's hit his arm at all. It's like you say, it's hit the top of his shoulder.
If you're looking at that, if that's not given, then this should be done away with first thing Monday morning.
Well, apart from anything else, they're taking an age, so it's not clear and obvious, is it?
Well, yeah, we said all this last week, didn't we? The driving us mad, isn't it?
Well, the boos ring around at Bramall Lane. The cries of get a move on. And the goal stands.
I'm all right with VAR.
Who knew? Who knew that wasn't handball?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What a load of nonsense.
It will be changed. It's guaranteed it will be changed. I mean, let's be fair. It's brought a bit of excitement there, hasn't it? Really, but because it's gone our way. That's what I'm saying. But what a game! What a game! I mean, I'm thrilled. At 3-2, I could have cried for Sheffield United for the amount of effort they've put in. As great.
Ender Stevens with him stride for stride, but the referee calls full time, and with a giant fist pump and a roar, Bramall Lane stands to its feet. The Blades had to earn a draw in the end. It is the least they deserve, as Sheffield United and Manchester United share the spoils after one of the best games at Bramall Lane in a long time. They led 2-0. It could and should have been more, but for a first-class performance from David De Gea. As it stood at half-time, Fleck had nudged the Blades in front. Mousse made it 2-0 with a stunning effort before he had to go off through injury. Then Manchester United turned the game on its head with 3 quick goals, the third of which came from Marcus Rashford, and then Ollie McBurney on the volley, crucially not via a hand, leathers home from close range. 3-3. Either side could then have gone on to win it at the end, so a point each. Blades 1, Manchester United 1. Keith Edwards.
Yeah, well, stunning performance, stunning game. For me, I think, did we switch off? It's difficult to say, because I thought there were just 3 excellent goals from Manchester United, but at 2-0, being the far better, supreme side, I was so proud to be sat here watching this and thinking, we're leading Manchester United with 20 minutes to go, I'm not sure. there's that much what's happened. I'm not sure about it, but I was so proud to be part of Sheffield United watching this game. Outstanding performance, outstanding team. We were a far better side than them, and at 2-0 I've just thought this is a walk in the park. All right, the Premiership does that to you. They've got certain individuals who can just switch a game like that and score goals, and brilliant goals and great crosses, but then to find ourselves 3-2 down and then to come back into it.
Another vital point on the road as Mousset tamed Wolves early on at Molineux in another game which could have gone either way.
6 unbeaten so far on the road, 5 draws and that victory at Everton, of course. Keith Edwards, can they continue that unbeaten run today? Opening minute then at Molineux here on Football Heaven as Basham plays it down the right hand side for Baldock. Over the top, Lundstrom's going to run on and just try and put some pressure on Kilman at the back. Keep you posted on Norwich against Arsenal. That's also a 2 o'clock kickoff later on today in the Premier League. Leicester, Everton and Manchester United against Villa. A number of FA Cup ties also kicking off at 2 o'clock as the ball comes in from the right hand side. It's blasted towards goal and it's in early doors, and it's Lys Mousset once again. Just over a minute into the game, the lower tier on the far side in pandemonium. He scored against Manchester United. It broke in the box. He was cool. He found the corner. What a start from Chris Wilder's men at Molineux. Wolves 0, Sheffield United 1.
Well, the perfect start, just an armless ball, really knocked over the top. The Wolves lad took the easy option by just knocking it out of play. A nice little 1-2 and a good cross in. I don't think his first touch was particularly good, but he's knocked it in and he's bobbled it into the corner. So a wonderful start, and Moose, man in form, has continued in great form. So what a start. What more can you say about this Sheffield United team? I mean,
at home against West Ham. Here's Neves over the top, lovely run by Doherty down the right. The Irishman will get on the end of it. He's got Stevens with him, takes on his international compatriot, low ball into the area, comes off O'Connell, deflected, wonderful save by Dean Henderson. Header from Jimenez, edge of the 6-yard box. Henderson didn't have too much time to react, big outstretched right palm, corner Wolves. I say he's been excellent last season and this season so far. Real key signing for Chris Wilder as Stevens goes over the top. Mousset gets round the back, uses his pace once again. It's a fleck low. Patricio saves at his feet. Wonderful opportunity from Sheffield United out of nothing.
Yeah, that's good play, isn't it? Once again, Mousset's pace is creating all kinds of problems. You have to think, and I don't want to be overcritical, but in the Premiership, you've got to knock them in.
A little bit of sunlight still drenched onto the field in front of us as Norwood fizzes a pass through the middle for McGoldrick. Can the Blades start the second half as quickly as they started the first? McGoldrick just can't quite get the ball. It's gone back to the centre circle for Basham. Now Stevens looking forward for McGoldrick. He's tackled by Neves. Out on the left-hand side here for the Blades. Whip cross low into the area. Mousset's there. Chests it down. McGoldrick at the ball. And McGoldrick nearly slips it under Patricio, who claims the ball. And 30 seconds into the second half, the Blades start strongly again. Fleck on halfway. Here's Stevens, pings it through the middle to McGoldrick. Nice first touch, fed back through from Fleck. McGoldrick into the penalty area. McGoldrick will take it low. Patricio saves. Lundstrom was coming in the middle. McGoldrick thrusts his arm to the floor in frustration. Good chance for the Blades, Keith.
Yeah, it's a great look. You play good football. It's another little 1-2, and he's clean through.
Right. Here's Cody looking to come back forward. Jimenez looking to turn on the right of the box, thinks it towards the back post, and coming in from the near side is Doherty. And that is a real moment of quality from Jimenez that caught Henderson slightly out of position. Doherty coming in unmarked from the near side, couldn't really miss, a couple of yards out. And with 18 and a half minutes on the clock in the second half, Wolves have the equaliser. Wolves 1, Sheffield United 1. 20 yards infield. Middle of the Wolves half. Norwood, left arm in the air, whips it into the box. McGoldrick's there with a flick header and just wide. Thought that was flying into the top corner for a second, and it drifts just wide. What an effort this is from McGoldrick here.
Just won't fall for him, will it?
Nord will turn in the middle. Across the middle to John Fleck. Fleck trying to drive forward through onto the left-hand side now for Stevens. Overlapping run now by Freeman. Stevens into the area. McBurney's there. Gets the header goalwards just a yard over the top. He thought he was fouled in the back, Ollie McBurney. Yep. It goes behind for a goal kick.
A rare off day, and our old friend VAR makes the headlines as Newcastle are the victors at Bramall Lane.
Newcastle on the counter-attack, and waves of the blades trying to break down a back line of 9 at times. Great flick on by Carroll, offside flag goes up far side by Shelby, who will carry on here and put the ball into the back of the net. For me, should get a yellow card, because he had a look round and saw that the offside flag up, and that's just wasting time. And Carroll looks on, and he's gone through in on goal here.
Well, why did everything slow down then?
United have stopped. John Joe Shelby's just carried on, put the ball beyond Dean Henderson.
That's why
the only person who carried on was Shelby, and at the moment the decision's given and the goal has been given to Newcastle. John Joe Shelby carries on, everybody else stops, and the Blades are 2-0 down here.
Back on the road and back to winning ways in Norfolk. The wing-backs are the heroes as Stevens and Baldock win it for them at Norwich.
Yeah, it was just, instinctive. We do a lot of kind of small-sided games, and those kind of occasions come up where you've just got to be a little bit creative. And it sounds, I'm not sure if people believe it, but as the ball fell, I kind of knew I was going to do the first trick, which would set up the second one. It was kind of weird. It was all instinctive, and then, I know a few people were calling for the pass, but I only had one thing in my mind, that was just to get a shot on goal, and thankfully it went in.
Dia places the ball in the right corner quadrant on this near side, and it's pinged into the penalty area. Tete with the header, it goes up, it's pinballing around. Tete! And Norwich City have the lead here. Alex Tete smashed the ball in as the ball dropped to his feet just inside the penalty area, and venomously he finds the bottom corner. It's Norwich City 1, Sheffield United 0. And Norwich City are able to clear the ball into the stand.
Yeah, so it just left Baldock a little bit short. He hasn't had as much service as he normally gets down this right-hand side.
Baldock, in goes the cross, rising high, and an equalising goal, and the Blades are back level. John Fleck with a powerful header across Tim Krul and into the net, all square. Early stages of the second half, it's Norwich 1, Blades 1.
Well, that's a cracking goal, and the first time Baldock has been played in, I think that's one of the first headers we've actually won. So that's a great header from it's actually Stevens.
It's Stevens.
Yeah. Stevens. I thought he'd got up there above the. That's just from good timing, and he's got in there. He's put it away beautifully, I have to say.
I bet they don't, as Ender Stevens spins at the touchline on the far side, drills it cross field, but it's dealt with by Godfrey. Following up to the loose ball, McGoldrick, who brings in Basham. Basham out wide to Lundstrom, 2 white shirts to Amat, and it's come to Baldock, switching the ball between his feet. He will turn and then shoot, and it's gone in! What a goal! What a goal from George Baldock! A brilliant turn just inside the penalty area, and he smashed it in the bottom corner. The most fantastic start to the second half. The Blades were trailing, now they lead. Outstanding turnaround, and it's Norwich 1, Blades 2.
Well, what a goal that is. Won't see many better goals than that. He's controlled it, and he's been a huge part of the first strike as well, so real credit to him. But he's pulled it round, jinked, gone the other way, and just striked it right across everybody, right in the bottom corner. Great goal, well done. I'm so pleased for Baldock. We were only saying that in the first half, how many times did he get ignored by players making the poor decision and he didn't play him in? Well, he's had whatever, and not only that, whatever Chris said at half time, and I would imagine he wouldn't have been very happy with that first half performance, but whatever he said certainly worked.
And Cantwell, a lovely little layoff now to Buendia, who releases Pookie just outside the corner of the penalty area. Buendia through to Cantwell, brilliant save, Henderson. Superb stuff. He's earned his stripes there, no doubt about that. A brilliant save as Cantwell ghosted through. It's parried away for a corner.
John, one more header! One more header back! One more! Come on! Halfway
Yeah, it's brilliant. Obviously, Ender's put in a few good balls in the game, and I didn't manage to get on the end of him. So it's nice to make sure he's in the right position and to give him the goal.
I think he's saying you couldn't miss that one. Is that right?
No, it was a great ball. Obviously, we've been at it all season, and the manager's been on to us about getting in the box. You know, wing back to wing back, and thankfully it's paid off today.
Fleck shows his class as United dismantle Villa. The Scotsman in fine form as he nets twice in a commanding display by Chris Wilder's men.
I think Bash done one of his wee flicks inside, played it down to Tiani, who played it across first time, and as you say, I managed to get on the end of it in the box and get a decent first time hit on it. I think Josh Baldock played the ball out to me. I think I dribbled inside a little bit, did he? And then he did his bit of magic with flicking it over someone's head. Yeah, I will say, as you say, my right foot probably could have went anywhere, to be honest, but thankfully it went in the back of the net.
McGoldrick to the left for O'Connell. Norwood from the centre circle. Beautiful ball into the path of Basham, who brings it down expertly first time. Back to Baldock. Takes a cross. It hits Grealish, but Baldock will get it, bring it back down to Norwood. Ping down the line to Basham. What a lovely back heel that is. Lundstrom into the box. Fleck's there, and Fleck will finish beyond Tom Heaton. Instinctive, beautiful work from the Scotland international, and Sheffield United have found their fire in the early part of this second half. John Fleck with his third goal of the season. 5 minutes gone after the break. It's Sheffield United 1, Aston Villa 0. The Blades very much the dominant force in the game. Could do with a second as Baldock goes into the middle for Lundstrom, pulls it back for Baldock. Can he get his shot away? No, it's cleared away by Bjorn Engels. Here comes Fleck inside. Baldock on the edge of the box. McGoldrick down. Fleck to finish. Brilliant goal. David McGoldrick with a masterful assist. But John Fleck at the double for the Blades in front of the Kop end. A beautiful finish. They've woken up and come alive after the break of Sheffield United, and it looks like they're on for back-to-back victories in the Premier League for the first time in 13 years. 17 and a half to go. Sheffield United 2, Aston Villa 0. Out to the right-hand side for Frederic Gilbert, the fullback, the Frenchman. Last 15 minutes at Bramall Lane. Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Villa coming forward, don't want to concede now. Blades. His target into the middle. It's going to come off for Egan, who goes down. With the angle that you get to see the VAR checks, it's never quite in line, is it? So you're always difficult to tell.
You can say what you like. This is why we shouldn't have
given.
it. This is why we shouldn't have it, because it
waits to step up. Here comes Grealish, dances around the ball. He'll run up and strike it, and he hits the bar. Jack Grealish hits the bar, and it is cleared by Lundstrom. And there are celebrations and jubilation around four sides, with the Blades in the upper tier. It's still not clear in the box. Dean Henderson comes out and claims it. The roar goes up. It remains Sheffield United 2, Aston Villa 0.
8 yards out, 6 yards out, scoring 2 goals. Brilliant lad, absolutely. I've seen him play some great games over the years, and he's come right through this club. So that's why we're living the dream.
Living the dream, as Keith Edwards says. Sheffield United at the moment up to 5th in the Premier League after beating Aston Villa by 2 goals to 0, both in the second half. The first when Basham backheel for Lundstrom to cross and Fleck turned the ball home, and then McGoldrick with a lovely little flick over his head into the area from Fleck to get his second of the game and to get his 4th goal of the season. The Blades the dominant force, Villa disappointing, and like I said, after they scored the second goal, it is the first time the Blades have got back-to-back victories in the Premier League for 13 years.
An early Christmas present for the Blades fans, thanks to McBurney. VAR can't deny the Blades this time, as United enjoy the festive spirit on the south coast.
Yeah, I remember the game. It was a tough one. We knew going into the game that Brighton were going to probably dominate most of the ball. The way they played, they had some good players, and they were a real possession-based team, especially at their place. So we had the game plan to kind of let them have the ball and and then hurt them when we won the ball back in the right areas. Dino's kicked the ball and then the flick on, and then I've run in behind for a change, and managed to get my body in front of the defender, and then I've seen the space that the goalkeeper's given me near post, and luckily that day the woodwork was on my side and it's gone in. But yeah, I think it was quite early in the first half. Was it about halfway through the first half? And then after then, it was kind of backs to the walls a little bit. We've had chances on the counter. I think Didsy had the chance, and then was it Jack O'Connell got a goal disallowed. But all in all, I think it was a perfect away performance. You go away and you beat a team 1-0. I remember the fans being so loud that day as well behind the goal, the other goal where I scored at. And then I remember the celebrations after the game. I think those away games where you have to kind of hang on a bit. I think if you look at Crystal Palace away as well, maybe you haven't played your best football and you haven't dominated possession, but you've grinded as a team and you've dug each other out, and you take them 1-0. 1-0 victory is always real sweet away from home, and then I remember the celebrations after the dressing room. The boys were real chuffed, and we felt like we'd really earned the 3 points, and them results are good.
In this pre-Christmas Premier League fixture, Sheffield United and John Lundstrom, after the shrill of the referee's whistle, get this game off and underway, hoping to set a new unbeaten record for a newly promoted side at the start of a Premier League season for 9 matches. A goal to nil. Philip Cocu's got to be under pressure there. Here's the Blades corner, swung into the box, and it's glanced over the line, and Sheffield United have knocked the ball in, and John Egan slides on his knees in celebration. It's the perfect start from the set piece, and there was the big defender from close range to nudge the Blades in front. It's Brighton 0, Sheffield United 1.
And we've got a bit of a reward.
Well, it's John Egan's first Premier League goal. He won't score an easier goal, but they are checking it for a possible handball VAR.
Oh my
And
God,
it has been chalked off. So he won't have his first Premier League goal. So here is Norwood, wriggling back towards his own goal, pressed by Stevens, but he's got time to recover. Get it back to Dean Henderson, who will dispatch it from right to left, straight down the middle of the pitch. McBurney giving all sorts of trouble to the defender, up to the edge of the penalty area, uses his strength, gets the shot away, and he has buried it! Ollie McBurney with virtually a solo goal, tenacity and presence before poise and control. Sheffield United's £20 million man fires the ball in low into the bottom corner, and at last a goal that looks like it will stand. Brighton 0, Sheffield United 1. The little Australian scampers on past Baldock, and he's tried to give Baldock short shrift, but nobody really outworks George Baldock ever, and he's got it back, and it's cleared upfield. And McGoldrick has spun the defender Webster to the edge of the box. McGoldrick's there, he's rounded the goalkeeper. Is this the one? No, he's not. Oh, David McGoldrick has hit the side netting, and another glorious opportunity to score his first Premier League goal has gone begging, and a free kick. So free kick then to Sheffield United. Ollie Norwood will take it, bent in right-footed, decent looking ball, glancing header Egan, spilled by the keeper, bundled over the line, and Jack O'Connell looks to the sidelines, no flag given. Has Jack O'Connell just scored his first Premier League goal as he goes over to celebrate with the Sheffield United supporters? This would be a brilliant start to the second half. It's Brighton 0, Sheffield United 2.
I just find it frustrating. But there you go, and so will he. But we have to abide by the rules.
Well,
we don't get to see it.
Header will bobble over the line, and this one's been chalked off. So Sheffield United have had the ball in 3 times, but they lead by 1. He's challenged. The referee still hasn't blown his whistle. Moy will spin it into the box. Cross takes a big deflection. Just get it clear, and the referee calls full time at the Amex Stadium. Sheffield United preserve their undefeated status.
And boys were saying it was a smashing grab, but the Premier League's a tough league. Every point that you get is you have to earn. You don't get given anything, and I think like you say, them games where we've had to grind. You know, we go up early and then we've had to show that we're resolute and we can defend for a long period of time in them games and see games out and show that we're men in them games. I think there is something a little bit sweeter about them games, and you know the celebrations are a bit more sweeter after them games. Yeah.
Boxing Day at the Lane, and it's another battling point. Norwood on the spot for his first Premier League goal to keep the Blades ticking over.
Sheffield United trailing Watford by a goal to nil. Norwood steps up and he scores! Ollie Norwood scores his first ever Premier League goal, a penalty as Sheffield United draw level with 9 minutes to go before half-time. Blades 1, Watford 1.
2019 ends with a trip to the champions. Another tight call from VAR denies them the lead, but City are made to work for the 3 points at the Etihad.
As John Fleck comes across halfway, he fires it through, and Mousset's onside. He bears down on goal and will shoot! And Sheffield United have buried the ball in! The Sheffield United bench rises in celebration. Pep Guardiola's gone nuts as Lys Mousset, Sheffield United's leading scorer, went through on goal. He smashed it past Bravo, and the Blades lead against the reigning Premier League champions. It's Manchester City 0, Sheffield United 1. Well, the check has been made, and if you can't tell from the cheers, no goal for offside.
New year, and they're travelling again. This time it's Anfield for the leaders, and irrefutable evidence that they're top for a reason.
I remember going into the stadium, and before the fans got there, Jamie Webster songs were getting played in the ground, so that me and Lunny were laughing at that. And then in terms of the game, it wasn't a great performance, but it was special for me being New Year's Day, I think it was, and I had loads of family in the crowd in both ends.
Well, they may have different ambitions, they may be in different places as football clubs, but what is without question two great footballing cities meet at Anfield this evening, and the red side of Liverpool and the red side of Sheffield go head to head. Can Sheffield United at the very least create a speed hump in Liverpool's great, seemingly unstoppable procession towards the Premier League title here at Anfield to get this match off and underway? And there's a big roar as the two teams get moving here. It's two changes for the Blades, with Besic out and Lundstrom in and McGoldrick restored. Van Dijk with one of his trademark long balls. Here's Robertson into the box. And Mo Salah sweeps the ball in at the Anfield Road end. It is look! Oh, and the shot on the half volley screams across the face of goal and narrowly just wide of Alisson's net.
Yeah, that wasn't far away, and that's great technique. He's got it high and then it's dropped low, so that's why I mentioned the technique. And what a person to actually get the goal would be Lundstrom, who's from Liverpool and a Liverpool fan.
Firmino, the Brazil international, picking out Henderson. Henderson up to the edge of the penalty area. Salah! Oh, what a save! What a save from Dean Henderson. Absolutely beautiful football from Liverpool in the build-up. As Salah hit it, it seemed destined for the top corner, but Dean Henderson's earned his stripes there.
My word, how good was that? I'm tempted to talk about all the great football there, but the save just outmatched everything there. I just thought I was waiting for the net to ripple, and there you go, 2-0. But Henderson, stunning save.
And Liverpool have it in the middle third. It's hit forward first time, up to Mane, little glancing flick, Mo Salah! Brilliant save again by Henderson, diving to his right-hand side. That shot on goal is parried for a corner.
Yeah, great movement from them again, but well done, lads. You got back in numbers, made it hard for them. And once again, the goalkeeper is making a very, very nice save to his right this time. So, nicely balanced goalkeeper. Yep, good play. Yeah, it's a difficult one to deal with.
Here's Mane on the counter-attack for Liverpool. Into Salah, through it goes Mane! Brilliant save by Henderson! Mane will follow up and makes it 2-0 at the top end for Liverpool. Sadio Mane quickly reacted, having initially been denied by Dean Henderson, and in doing so fired into the roof of an empty net. It's Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 0.
We are underway here at Bramall Lane. The Blades kicking from right to left in the opening half towards the Bramall Lane end. The Cop end closed today. It's going to run down to this near flank for Luke Freeman. Freeman with a couple of step-overs. Delivers a ball into the area. Callum Robinson's there, gets the turn and shoots in the bottom corner. Might have taken a little deflection too that did for Hornby. But Luke Freeman sets it up. Callum Robinson gets the goal. He's second in the season. He scored at Chelsea and now he scored at home against AFC Fire. Side into Leon Clark. What can Clark do here? He can find Ravel Morrison on the edge, back into Luke Freeman, and Freeman will hit the post, and it comes out to Leon Clark to follow in. Gets his start today, does Clark the skipper. His first start of the season. Luke Freeman hits the post, and there pouncing is Leon Clark to get his goal.
I think during his tenure here at Sheffield United, I think Chris has transformed is the wrong word. I think what Chris has done is actually remind the football club, remind Sheffield United what it's all about. And from almost the moment that he came in through the doors, I've covered this club a long time, and this, I like to think I know it pretty well. There's people who know it far better than I will, and most of those will be on the terraces as well. But from the moment he walked through the doors, I actually recognised the football club that I'd first started covering all those years ago. And it was a club that had the same personality. It wasn't trying to be something that it wasn't. It was proud of its values. It was proud of being a working class football club from a working class city. And it embraced the values of the city that it represents, and of the area it represents, and the community and the people that it represents. And I think Chris recognised that. And I think for me that was the one thing that just has made this such a strong football club, is that it knows where it's from and it knows what it is, and it's not trying to be something that it isn't.
Yeah, I think obviously the club wants to tie him down for longer, and it's first time he's been managing the Premier League as well as most of us playing in there, so I think it was a follow-on effect after the gaffer signed his deal. A few of the lads followed, and it showed the unity of the club and the squad as a whole, and of where we want to go and how we want to stay together and build on something special.
Yeah, two together first. Yeah, just get these two together, then we'll get the rest together. Okay, gents, nice big smiles this way. That's lovely. And again. Okay, gents, this way, that's lovely. To save this life. And again. Would you invite the Sheffield United all? And again. That's great. Sure, you'll be delighted, everyone. Part of Sheffield United with the news that Chris Wilder has just signed a new 4-year deal. Yes, we're very excited. He has been a big part of the club's success, and stability is very important. I think we're very happy with Chris' record, and we're looking forward to another 4.5 years with a 5th-year option as well. Were the negotiations tough, or were they quite simple? No, I told Chris when I met him in Madragaz in the off-season that we will be coming to him soon before he approaches us for a new contract. I think he has earned it. And for me, I mean, it's the most important piece in any club is right coach and right management. And when you have that, you should luck it out for a long time. So I think it's good for the club future.
Under the lights again at the Lane, and McBurney is back in amongst the goals. VAR to the Blades' rescue this time as they get back to winning ways. It might be useful after all.
I think we played well in that game from what I can remember. I think it was similar to the West Ham game we just played. There wasn't a lot in it, but I think we'd played some good stuff, and obviously I've managed to get the goal 1-0, and then we were defending, and then obviously they've scored the equaliser. Was it Snod scored the equaliser? I'm on the bench now, so I've come off. I think I came off 80th minute, and I don't know if footballers have told you before, but it's the worst thing ever when you're off, because there's nothing you can do. So it's the worst feeling not being able to affect it. Holding on to a lead, they've scored, and no one even appealed for the handball or anything. No one's even thought that they was going to get disallowed, and then they said VAR are checking. I'm thinking, surely we're due one here. We're due a little VAR bit of luck. Obviously, I still don't think it should have been been overturned, but at the time you take it, you know, it's for us. I did feel a bit sorry for them in the end, but you know, it's a ruthless game, and yeah, we've managed to get their goal overturned and take the 1-0 victory. I think it was on a Friday night as well. Yeah. The gaffer might have given us the weekend off after that game as well. So yeah, you know, these memories are things that, you know, when you talk about them games, it just brings a smile to. I think it'll bring a smile to most of the boys' faces when you talk about these memories and these games.
But it's swept back by Zabaleta to David Martin, who will dispatch the ball from left to right, high down the centre of the pitch. Egan's backward header, latched onto by Anderson, who will shoot wide. A let-off for Sheffield United. I think he's just trying to work a bit of space here. Pokes it back down the line to Lundstrom. 4.5 gone second half. Norwood into the area. Misses McBurney. It's going to come out to Fleck on the left. Who will try it? It's Zabaleta. Fleck once again. Just a yard wide of goal. Couldn't keep it on target. Hands to his face. Great opportunities for the Braves. Just 5 minutes into the second half.
Well, he struck them really well, but second one, yes, the first ones were really it's on target. Well, hits the second one on target, he scores, as simple as that.
Into the back of the net, corner taken short, far side into Stevens, back down the line, cross into the area, McBurney's there, gets the header in, 6 yards out, can't get under it, heads it well over the top of the bar.
Level, that's a good opportunity. He just gets a little glance onto that, just glance it towards goal, that's all you have to do. He's maybe just a little bit too high for him, as we see, to get an opportunity to watch it on the replay, but you get up and get, here we go.
Poor kick out from Martin, Flex in there, he's going to get past Balbuena, squares it to Ollie McBurney, and McBurney will slip it under David Martin. A calamity from the keeper of the back line. Fleck bounces, the 2 Scotland internationals combine, and Ollie McBurney gets his 4th goal of the season for Sheffield United. They've started the better in the second half. 8 minutes in, it's Sheffield United 1, West Ham 0.
Well, that's a nice thought that we've got our lead, because you look at the West Ham side, unless they change something round and come out and want to play, and how many times do you see Premiership teams give the ball away from centre half to goalkeeper from centre half, and my word, I just don't get it. I'm going to be cheeky and say I think McBurney got away with that one. He didn't finish it confidently.
Keeper should save that.
Confidence is a
He's nearly saved that.
I know, but that's what he needs to just kick-start his career at Sheffield United. We've seen the good bits, and we know he can do it.
And West Ham will clear it forward through Snodgrass, but it's not the best clearance. Besic into Fleck now. It's left through to Mousse, who bears down on goal. Saved by the legs of Martin. Glorious chance for Mousse to get his 6th of the season. Back to Zabaleta, tossed high to halfway. Sebastian Haller lever arches the ball on. Declan Rice is trying to make a break for it through the middle of the park, and he's won it back here, slalloming to the edge of the penalty area. Snodgrass off the post and is crept in, and West Ham have equalised in added time here at Bramall Lane. Major disappointment for Sheffield United, as Snodgrass is there again to haunt Sheffield United. Sheffield United 1, West Ham 1.
Clear lines, put it in the right areas when you win a game, a big game for us, but give him half a chance. I tried to highlight that the fact that he was always going to be a bit of a pain to us on free kicks, and then he nips up and scores a goal, but really we look at you look at that again, and all it wants is a boot put through it. We're into 2 minutes, kick it out of play. They're into a habit of trying to play out, and we've just got caught at near post. Goalkeeper will be a little bit disappointed with that. I wouldn't say it was his fault. He hasn't left him much of it. He's left him about 6 inches, and he squeezed it in there. But gosh, that's awfully disappointing.
Well, they won't have much time.
No, if any.
Well, it's maybe going to be checked for a foul. Possible handball as well by VAR. Well, it did touch his hand in the build-up to the goal.
There you go, handball. That's got to go for us, surely.
Well, if in the lead-up to a goal, if the ball is touched, Declan Rice. Well, I think Ollie Norwood may well just be making that point to the match official, Michael Oliver, and VAR has gone Sheffield United's way after 8 big decisions and turnovers that have gone against Sheffield United. One finally breaks their way.
Look, we've always been a supporter of
naturally,
it.
So VAR, I've always liked it.
Well, you know, it's obviously the two occasions when we can talk about it with smiles on our faces, and of course the Manchester United game when it took that long. Must be something about my ex-girlfriend. Every time she comes here, the VAR goes with her, and so we talked about it, and yeah, that went for us, and this has gone for us. I can't tell you how disappointed I was for a couple of minutes. So if you get a chance to clear your lines, clear your lines. Come on.
Well, it's going to be a free kick then for handball against Declan Rice, and Sheffield United are leading by a goal to nil, and at last they've been helped out by VAR. It's in the rules. If the ball touches a hand in the build-up to a goal, that's it, no goal.
Hey, look, you can feel for West Ham. I don't think personally they deserve a great deal out of this game, but it's happened to us, and that's the rules, and we've had to be patient with it. So there you go.
To Egan at Brighton most recently, a similar-ish incident.
Well, of course. I mean, how does Egan get that goal disallowed? It was going in anyway, but the fact that it touches that. So did we start the show by saying we won't talk about it? But look, that's the way it's gone for us. But it's the right decision, even though I still don't agree with it.
So David Moyes hurriedly giving the ball back to Chris Basham, who you might imagine is in no rush to get on with it. Here's Basham launching the ball down the line. Snodgrass clearance goes up in the air. O'Connor will deal with it, and then it's high forward, dealt with by Jack O'Connell. So Sheffield United 1, West Ham 0. VAR has helped the Blades out here as Fleck has a coming together, but he wins the ball back in the middle of the park. Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. Sharp controls it just outside the left corner of the penalty area, dealt with by Zabaleta. He's pushed the ball out of play, and the referee calls full time. Not pretty, but it will feel priceless. Sheffield United have beaten West Ham United by a goal to nil to return to winning ways at Bramall Lane. Ollie McBurney, the Blades' leading scorer, got the decisive goal, but maybe the decisive moment came via the hand of Declan Rice, who touched the ball as he went through, thus then rendering the goal that came from Snodgrass off by VAR.
You know, evocative of the way things have been. You're just happy with it, and they're happy with you.
Well, you just work hard at your job, and you know the club have come to me and want to extend my contract. So you know, I think everybody knows how much I feel about the football club. Even when the performances aren't great tonight, you know, we've got a great spirit about us. The supporters, you know, drove us right on tonight, and to climb into the top 5 at this stage of the season is a tremendous
achievement.
achievement.
In the capital, and again the Blades show they're no pushovers. Fleck is the hero as Arsenal are pegged back at the Emirates.
At that stage, it was amazing to go to these stadiums and play. That's what we've all wanted to play games in. I think Mo Besic played it to Callum Robinson. He put a cross in. I think Billy sort of flicked it on, and it just bounced perfectly in front of me. I've sort of volleyed it in the ground, and it, as I say again, thankfully I actually think it took a little deflection off the defender, but obviously it went down as my goal, so it was great to get that goal there.
Well, Arsenal have given the ball away, and here's Ender Stevens teasing ball in. Mousse's header had to deal with it first time, and it zips wide of Leno's goal. Look. Well, this game hasn't been played at a frantic pace, quite languid at times, quite sort of second gearish, and now it's spread towards the far side of the pitch. Saka into Ozil, now Lacazette, out to Saka on the left-hand side, up goes the cross, and it's been knocked in, and the young Brazilian Gabriel Martinelli is there with a tap-in after Henderson couldn't get there, and from walking pace to top speed in a split second, Arsenal have the lead. It's Arsenal 1, Sheffield United 0, Martinelli on the score sheet. And here is Fleck with the corner on the right-hand side. High into the box it goes. McBurney's header, and it's cleared away on the line. Sheffield United's players are screaming. The fans behind the goal away to our right-hand side are screaming too as well. I didn't actually see if it touched a hand, but play continues. Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield, so 67 gone. Can the Blades get back on terms? Lacazette sees the ball cannon off his shoulder, and he spins it out to the right-hand side. Pepe can stretch his legs, puts on the afterburners into the penalty area, and good backtracking. Ender Stevens goes after it. Pepe went down in the penalty area screaming penalty. It has gone to VAR. They are checking for a possible foul.
No, it's not a foul.
And he's jumped. You're quite right, Keith. Why is that not a yellow card?
If it's not a penalty, it's got to go the other way, hasn't it? You know, if we're going to the rulings every time. But no.
Arsenal are going to make another substitution. One might imagine a defensive change. Matteo Guendouzi, a terrier-like midfielder. Now Besic drops his shoulder, turns away from his marker, up to Callum Robinson, who stands at the cross. Billy Sharp's underneath it, gets enough on the ball, then a chance for Fleck, and it's gone in, and Sheffield United have equalised. John Fleck slides on his knees as he goes to celebrate with the Sheffield United travelling support. What a moment for Sheffield United. What a moment for the Scotland international. And it's all square at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Blades 1.
Another close game against the champions, and it's the visitors who take this one. Points no, plaudits yes.
Is the referee this evening. John Fleck stands over the top of the ball. The cop already in fine voice, and we are underway at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 7th in the Premier League against Manchester City, the back-to-back Premier League champions, currently in second this year. Ball straight out on the far side, and it does frustrate me when that happens, but being chased here by O'Connell. Poor ball far side. George Baldock's going to step in. Brilliant challenge in there. Baldock and Laporte flying for the ball, fully committed, both men. Goes out for a Man City throw. Fair decision. There's a late tackle there coming in from Besic on Laporte, who goes down, writhing around. Yellow card for Mo Besic. Laporte, of course, who's had that serious knee injury that's kept him out for the majority of the season. But a late one from Besic. We're just going to see the replays here. It's not great. It's only fractionally late. He does miss the ball. He catches the foot. It's a yellow card. The keeper to be tested. Here's Norwood, one of the ever-presents in the Blades lineup. Gives it to Basham, who's giving it away on halfway to Raheem Sterling. Not something you'd like to do. Sterling away to the right-hand side for Mahrez. Back into the middle for Sterling. And Dean Henderson with a monster of a save. Sterling about 8 yards out.
Meeting between these two sides, and the corner is taken short. Back it goes to a central position, dinked in by Zinchenko, hit with plenty of pace. Fernandinho on the volley, then an overhead kick, and another glorious save from Dean Henderson. This time it's Jesus, I think, who was denied. It was a brilliant save. 32 minutes of the game played. Ollie Norwood, the former Manchester United youth team player, spots the ball on the corner quadrant on this near side. In it comes right-footed, hooked into the box and headed off the line by a Manchester City defender under pressure. It was Laporte who was back there, and there's a coming together, and there is a moment in which the touch paper lit slightly. John Egan is certainly having his say and has to be marshalled away by Ederson, the Brazil goalkeeper. Usually a player such cool, calm and collected, John Egan, so something's rattled his cage. To keep the pressure on, but Man City look to counter-attack, and Kevin De Bruyne, who stumbled over the ball, concedes possession, then Kyle Walker slides in. It's all a bit harum-scarum in the middle of the park, and now it's laid forward, and Mahrez is in on the right-hand side. He will turn inside the penalty area, taking on two in red and white, goes down, and the referee has pointed to the spot. Well, Mahrez has cut into the penalty area, turned in past a sliding
Has he caught
defender.
It's Basham, isn't it?
Taken on Baldock, and then Basham has committed to the foul and taken the legs of Mahrez. And despite the recriminations from the Kop end, you can understand why Lee Mason has given that as a penalty. Well, Sheffield United have given Manchester City a helping hand, and from the penalty spot, Dean Henderson saves! What a save! Well, what a moment for Dean Henderson, who keeps out the Brazilian Jesus at Bramall Lane. And now Mousset and McBurney have a little interchange across the halfway line. Mousset shields the ball away from Rodri, and now Fleck needs an outlet. Gets it from Stevens, back to Fleck in a central position. He keeps it moving to Mousset. Now McBurney, intricate build-up play by Sheffield United. Now Besic, and it goes, McBurney! Oh, and it's wide. Sheffield United against the current, but no doubt soon to be deposed Premier League champions. Here's De Bruyne on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Aguero! And Sergio Aguero knocks in unmarked. What Ollie McBurney couldn't do, Sergio Aguero did. And the superstar in this Galaxy side has come off the bench to knock Manchester City in front. It's Sheffield United 0, Manchester City 1. So Sheffield United trailing the reigning Premier League champions by a goal to 0, but they have a free kick tossed into the box. McBurney's header, overhead kick attempt, chance of a shot from Ender Stevens, and it's bundled away, and the referee calls full time here. Lee Mason puts his whistle to his mouth. Well, that has been an intense contest.
We are underway. The blades kicking from left to right. A chorus of the Greasy Chip Butty song rings out from the stand to our left-hand side. Helps it towards halfway for Callum Robinson. First time ball over the top. Billy Sharp's there. It's going to spin just behind. Sharp holds it up. Is he fouled there by Wallace? No. Manages to slip the ball into the play of Besic. Besic will turn. Can he get his shot away into the box? Besic to go on! Brilliant strike by Mo Besic. Was afforded the freedom of the den. Curls it over the top of Bartosz Biankowski. And the Blades strike first in the fourth round of the FA Cup. It's his first goal in Blades colours for the Bosnian. We've played 17 minutes of the second half. It's Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1. Down the left-hand side for Ben Osborne. Osborne now comes back to Robinson, the debutant, feeds it infield to Billy Sharp. Sharp back to Norwood, who will drill one into the corner. Precise, brilliant goal by Ollie Norwood. And that is Sheffield United heading through to the fifth round of the FA Cup. Delicious work on the left. The debutant Robinson involved as well, but Ollie Norwood gets his third goal of the season. He scored in the League Cup, he scored in the Premier League, now he's scored in the FA Cup.
Then back to the big smoke and a visit to the Palace. Sander Berge makes his debut, and United need a helping hand for all 3 points at Selhurst Park.
A special game, you know, coming on the Thursday. I think that was my first day, but I wasn't able to train due to some late paperwork, so into the training session on Friday, travelling with a team down to London, starting at Palace away. Tight game, then we're scoring the 1-0 in second half. I came off with cramps after 65 minutes or so. It was a very tough game, but yeah, a memorable one, you know, still having goosebumps after that celebration with the fans and the players after a game.
Yeah, that's better, isn't it? That's what we want. I don't blame him 1 minute for Fleck scoring. He's done extremely well this year, but
great counter-attack here by Palace, quickly to the edge of the area for Benteke in the box, strikes low, 16 yards out, it bobbles through to Henderson, and there's a striker just back from injury who hasn't scored this season.
Yeah, well, with shots like that, I can understand why, but you know, he is a threat. It must be awfully frustrating for the Palace fans because they see the 3 lads up front are quality players, but they just don't seem to have that extra that gets a goal, and it must be frustrating to watch this week in, week out. But yeah, we've gone forward really well there. Flex, he's had a shot from distance, that's fine because he's made his own space. He's got into a great position, and why not? Because I think he's having more fun this year than he's ever had, especially goals-wise. But
looks like a clash of heads here between Benteke and Basham. Basham is thrashing his legs around a little. Benteke down to the ground quickly. The trainers come on. I hope they're going to be okay. They're both moving around, but that's clearly going to smart.
Yeah.
Benteke's back to his feet. He's a monster of a striker.
Well, he is, but I think that's a clumsy challenge, and if anything should be looked at, it's possibly that. If you just look there, he's just I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's a clash of heads, so we'll take it from there. But Basham certainly come off the worst there.
Poor touch by McBurney, and Palace will look to counter down the other end. Zaha goes down. He was trying to play it the first time McBurney, coming past by Norwood. Didn't really look where his option was. The Blades still have the ball now near side. They'll come forward again. Peterborough 3-0 up at Ipswich. Portsmouth leading Sunderland 2-0 as Stevens plays it down the left side looking for Sharp. Using his strength well. McBurney edge of the area. Fleck into Sharp. Sharp, can he keep it in? He can. He puts it off Gale. It's a corner for Sheffield United.
Well, like Palace in the first half, moved up this left-hand side extremely well, and that's exactly what we've done. Fleck and Sharp involved, and Stevens, and good passing, win a corner kick.
Did really well here because it squirmed off his boot and looked like it was going out for a goal kick, but Sharp kept going, managed to get the corner for Sheffield United, and who knows what will come from it. Can the Blades create a chance? We've played 57 minutes in Selhurst Park. It's 0-0, corner near side. Norwood into the middle, it's drawn by Whiter, and is that over the line? It is! Sheffield United lead at Selhurst Park. Ollie Norwood's corner is dropped by the Spaniard over his own line. A horror moment for Vicente Guaita. And Sheffield United, incredibly, without threatening, in the capital, lead by a goal to 0. Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1.
Well, that's described as a bonus when the keeper throws it in like that. I was just about to say when the keeper come out for it, actually I thought, well, yeah, that's another poor corner that we've knocked in today, and of course we've got to go for it. So that's fairly fortunate, but we have started the second half better than we did in the first, and yeah, that gives us a little bit of a leeway and puts a little bit of pressure on Palace, but a very fortunate goal. Don't know if I think it'll go down as an own goal, which
Yes, it'll be an own goal, you'd have thought.
He took it over the line, didn't he? So it's clearly good.
It's a good 3 or 4 yards over. It's not. We don't even need goal line technology to check it. It is well over the line. Wanting the whistle to blow. Van Arnold has the ball in his hands, way out of position. Needs to take it here, you feel, for Palace. Kouyaté down. Osborne there gets a touch of the ball. Stevens high to the sky. Andy Madley checks his watch once more. Palace come forward once again. Fantastic tackle here by O'Connell in on Kouyaté. Stevens gets the header clear to the near side. He will be picked up by Van Arnholt. 6.5 gone, and there's the full-time whistle here at Selhurst Park. Sheffield United win by a goal to 0. A howler by the Spaniard Vicente Guaita, dropping Ollie Norwood's corner into the net. It's a horrible one for Crystal Palace. The Blades improved in the second half, a workmanlike performance in the first. The second half they increased in chances, got that goal. It is a first league double in the top flight for 13 years for Sheffield United, and it is a first top flight win in London in 20 games since 1992. Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1. The Blades away from home, at home, in total, march on.
Unique experience, young boy coming from Belgium, which it's a good atmosphere, but nothing like England. And then I knew there was a massive fan club in Sheffield United, but you never really realize how big it is before you really eyes to eyes watch it in person. And then when they were singing my song there, spectacular. As I said, me and my family were still rummaging back to that moment. And that's one of the motivational parts by working hard every day,
He's had a hectic, 72 hours, 48, 72 hours, but, I believe, this was the right time to chuck him in. I thought there was bits and pieces that he was really good at. He'll get to the speed and the pace of the Premier League. I think when he came off, he had a look of his face, thought, wow, what's happened there? But he's got undoubted quality. He fits the way we play, his energy and his technical ability. It really suits, whether he plays as a sitting midfield player or one on.
Here comes the rain as Bournemouth arrive. It took the Blades time to acclimatise, but Sharp, in the sunshine, got back into the goals before Lundstrom netted the winner after a storming second half showing. The Blades are up to 5th.
Greasy chip body song reverberates around Bramall Lane. John Moss blows his whistle. We're off and underway, and immediately the ball is tossed out towards the far side for McBurney, who's beaten in the air, and Sheffield United have a throw-in. It's an early first touch for Berger, who slips it to Baldock, and Sheffield United have it back. How do you see the Blades approaching this one?
Well, just the same as they always do. I mean, we have respect for the opposition, but we concentrate mainly on how we are going to perform and doing the great work, winning your tackles. That's what Chris demands, and if they just go about the job as the way they do, then they're going to cause them problems. It's just, can it be one of them games where we can make it comfortable for ourselves? I'm really looking forward to seeing Sander Berger as well.
Just outside the penalty area on the right, now Philip Billing. On his left boot, he teases the ball in field to Sermon, up to the edge of the penalty area. Gosling will stretch but maintain possession. Now Fraser to Rico, in goes the cross, hit with a low trajectory. There it's pushed away. Berger will clear, but it's intercepted a little cheaply. Now Sermon, back out wide it goes to Fraser. Intricate build-up play from Bournemouth now as he teases the ball in. Then the shot, and Wilson is there, and Wilson fires the shot into the roof of the net. And Bournemouth have opened the scoring here at Bramall Lane. A shade under 13 minutes of the game played. An unmarked Callum Wilson was there and deadly. And it's Blades 0, Bournemouth 1. Into the box it goes. Billings header clear. Out to Norwood again. In comes the ball again, and again it's a header away by Billing as Sheffield United turn the screw.
Yeah, well, we've had to wait 43 minutes or so for our best spell, and we've got the ball in and around the box. That could have easily gone into the goal because it's a deflected goal, but no surprise that there is another Bournemouth player down.
I mean, I know they've had injuries this season. Maybe some of them weren't that serious.
Yeah, well, I think the keeper's just caught him, but it's not. Once again, he goes down, but within a couple of minutes he's up.
So in comes another Sheffield United corner. Backstick Berger underneath it, can only volley up and away. It's not been cleared by Bournemouth, and now Ender Stevens, it pinballs in the box, and a chance, and Billy Sharp is there! Billy Sharp has equalised! Goodness me, must just love playing against Bournemouth. 6 yards out, there he was. Sharp never misses those. And in added time, at the end of the first half, it's Blades 1, Bournemouth 1.
I believe there's only Billy Sharp could be there for that. People will look at that and say, well, he shouldn't miss from there. It's about the positional sense, and the other strikers don't appear to have that sense what Billy's got, and it doesn't surprise me it's fallen to him, gets himself the right position, and there's no mistake there. So that's us back into it on a performance that's not been great. So when we do a little bit better, the game's there to be won.
So Billy Sharp then on the score sheet, 242 Blades goals, 91 in his third spell here.
Yep.
And then a toe poke from close range. Proper Billy Sharp goal.
Yeah, it's a great goal. People won't understand why I'm describing it as a great goal. It's because he's in the right position. He's read the situation. His anticipation is great.
Out after him, Dean Henderson will dispatch the ball high down the middle of the park. It's won in the air by Billy Sharp. Nathan Ake had wrapped him up. I'm not entirely sure that wasn't a foul given the tone of free kicks in today's game. And here the visitors look to build through Adam Smith, scampering forward. He's got Harry Wilson out to the right-hand side on his left boot. He chips the ball in. Callum Wilson's flick on Fraser! Oh, what a save! What a save! Danger not averted, and then it goes away. But that is a brilliant save from Dean Henderson. Absolutely top draw.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a good height for him, but even so, you've got to take into account Fraser's struck it beautifully. It was a good strike as well. He's got that on target, He's only, 8-10 yards out or so. So it just shows you how quickly that's coming, and he's pushed it away. That's what great keepers do, keep the concentration level high.
Well, it's the kind of save that gets you no first half. Sharp at the back post, equalising after Callum Wilson unmarked fired into the roof of the net. Now a chance for Sheffield United, and Mousse centres the ball. Lundstrom! And Sheffield United take the lead for the first time in the game as John Lundstrom powers in to power home at the Kop end. The substitute scores his 4th goal of the season. And with 7 minutes of time to go, it's the Blades 2, Bournemouth 1.
You can understand why Chris made that substitution. He wants to win games, he does not settle for a point, and Lundstrom is the one player that will get into the box, will make that forward run. He's got the energy, he looks as if he's put a bit of weight on in the right way. He's got the capacity to get up and down that field in great strength, and for me, coming on as a substitute late on when we need something to get into the box, well, he's the perfect man for it. And that's a great first touch, and then the second touch he just knocks it in the corner. So it's a big win this if we can keep it going.
Left-footed finish from John Lundstrom. Not scored for a while. I'm sure he was desperate too, with Messrs Besic and Berger breathing down his neck. Yeah. And off he goes, beating his fist into his chest towards the John Street stand. Well, he did. Players restarted, and it's 2-1 Blades.
Well, yeah.
So, free kick then Blades, and it's smashed into the stand. Sheffield United have beaten Bournemouth. They had to ride the early storm in more ways than one, but they hit back and in the sunshine claimed a 2-1 victory as John Lundstrom off the bench ghosted through and finished deftly with his left boot to send Sheffield United back up to 5th in the Premier League table.
We're just trying to look at above us to try and catch them now, and just keep grinding out performances and results like we did today.
Yeah, well, looking up is what it's all about. It looks up round here.
Yeah, not before the game with the wind and the rain, but the conditions calmed down, and I thought we started well, but then obviously went 1-0 down. Showed good character to get back into it, and we always believe that, at half time we get round each other and don't rush it. We can create chances, and Lunny's come up with a great touching finish to win us the game.
Victory then for Sheffield United. It's now just 1 defeat in 5 games. They are on a roll, and is it too early to mention Europe? Stevens Brighton Rocket blast the Blades into the lead. They're pegged back before half-time, but it's another point on the board. 40 points now, safe, tick.
He's fitted in, so we get an opportunity to put this ball into the box.
And here is Norwood, crossing position, in it goes, heads go up, it will come to Ender Stevens, who strikes it! Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Ender Stevens, right in the top corner. It was picture perfect. It was absolutely pinpoint as Ender Stevens gets his 2nd goal of the season. An arrow drive from just inside the corner of the penalty area into Matt Ryan's top corner. Unstoppable. Blades 1, Brighton 0. I don't know, I didn't actually see Football Focus, but there are a lot of games where those challenges, and obviously as you've just mentioned, as Maupay goes for it, an equaliser against the run of play, and the man Sheffield United tracked during the summer, didn't track him then when it mattered most. No change to the half-time score at St Andrews. It's 2-2 between Birmingham City and Sheffield Wednesday. Barnsley is still goalless with Middlesbrough, and Sheffield United spread play to Baldock. Great looking cross in, but a header away out to Fleck, who shoots! Oh, he hit it beautifully. It was just off target. Venom, power and pace, just no accuracy from.
It was just a short corner, worked with Ollie and Flecky. I think they worked it well, and as he done that, I wasn't supposed to be in the box, but I just thought to myself, I might as well sneak in and just try keep it alive if it comes out to me. And once it came out to me, first touch kind of set me up, and the only thing I could do was just hit it, and thankfully it went in.
And no free kick given as Luke Freeman will now stride away for Sheffield United down the left-hand side. Comes to the near side for the left wing-back for today, Ben Osborne, who crosses into the area. Excellent ball, David McGoldrick scores! You heard right! David McGoldrick has finally got on the score sheet this season. A wonderful crossing from the left side from Osborne. McGoldrick unmarked in the middle, one bouncing in, and Sheffield United have got the ideal start here as they look to try and get a place in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. It's Reading 0, Sheffield United 1.
Everybody just being marshalled behind the whitewash outside of the 18-yard box here. So Reading have a penalty then in the FA Cup, and it's taken and driven venomously into the bottom corner. Dean Henderson had no chance of saving that, even though he dived the right way. In goes the cross, dealt with by Morrison. Partially cleared to Pushkasu, will bring it under control. He doesn't know where to go, and then the referee calls full time. After 90 minutes, Reading and Sheffield United cannot be separated. We will go to extra time. Lundstrom, ambling almost, 10 yards in front of the centre circle, looking for a supporting player. Forward into the feet of Freeman now from Osborne. Freeman chips it forward. Jack Robinson will let it run across his body, and then goes the cross. McBurney's trying to tee somebody up rather than shoot. Here's Freeman now to the byline. Up it goes, chance! And Sheffield United have scored! In first half added time, it's the captain Billy Sharp who proves to be Sheffield United's hero. A powerful unmarked header into the Reading net, and as things stand, Sheffield United are heading through to the FA Cup quarter-finals. Reading 1, Blades 2.
Sharp's on target again as the Blades deservedly bag another 3 points, but they needed Henderson at his best as Norwich are down before COVID halts the momentum.
Yeah, obviously I'd love to be getting stick now as well. I want the fans, back in the stadiums. But no, it was an unbelievable ball by Lunny. A deep cross. He had to put a lot of pace on it, and I got a good view of the flight of it. I knew it was coming. Just had to time the run and get a good purchase on it, and I managed to do that. And I think the power beat the goalkeeper, and it was nice to obviously give a bit back to the Norwich fans, which it's all part and parcel of football, and don't mind getting stick as long as they don't mind receiving it back.
Referee Simon Hooper is just seconds away from getting this Premier League clash underway between Sheffield United in 8th in the top flight and Norwich City bottom of the table, 6 points from safety, and dramatically looking for some points to try and get themselves closer to 17th place and a potential second year in the top flight. We are underway. We'll read through the two teams very shortly. All chipped in last season. Well kept in far side by Baldock. Lundstrom into Norwood, back out to the far side. The Blades have re-established themselves. Lundstrom into the area, brilliant cross! Billy Sharp, bullet header! You just do not leave that man unmarked in the box! Wonderful stuff from the skipper! It's 3 goals in 4 for him! He scored in the week, he scored again today! And with 9 minutes to go in the opening half, Sheffield United have the lead! The Blades 1, Norwich City 0.
I could feel it coming. Any striker will tell you that you just feel a goal coming. I knew it was coming. Their fans were giving me stick, and I could just tell them to quieten down after I scored. But no, the lads are providing chances for me and for an Ollie at the minute. So I was just happy to get on the end of a great ball from John Lundstrom, and big praise for the back five and for the whole team, and obviously for Dino. Some incredible saves to win us again.
I thought the lads were tremendous throughout the game. Obviously going to extra time midweek, same as Norwich, we kept the foot on the gas and worked really hard to get the result.
They're off again post-pandemic, behind closed doors at Villa Park. Goal line technology, well, where were you? And the now infamous ghost goal.
Now a little bit of space for Ender Stevens again. On the left-hand side, he helps it on to Billy Sharp, just outside the corner of the penalty area. Good strength from him before he's fouled by the defender Hawes. And it will be a free kick to the Blades, just outside the penalty area. Can they make this opportunity count? So it will be Norwood, who after the lockdown has far longer hair than he went into it with. In it comes then right-footed. It's a decent looking ball, and it causes Nyland some problems, and he's gone back over the line. Well, Chris Wilder has his arms stood out, but the adjudication from Michael Oliver said that he was perhaps shoved over the line, and we're initially going to see the cross into the box. Well, he fell backwards over the line.
That's a goal.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
That should have been a goal by miles.
That, yeah.
Oyen Nyland carried the ball into his own net. There was nobody anywhere near him.
Yeah.
And he fell backwards.
Can you answer my question then? Have we got VAR?
Well, no, obviously not here.
So that's gone now, has it?
Yeah.
Because what on the basis that there's no crowd? I'm not quite sure I understand that logic.
These are certainly strange times, and yet potentially momentous times as well, as Sheffield United and Arsenal compete for a place in the FA Cup semi-finals. A great event, if only there was anybody really in here around to see it. And now it will be another corner which Norwood will take this time from the left-hand side, high into the penalty area. McBurney's head goes up and Lundstrom is there, right on the line, and John Lundstrom couldn't fail to score from close range to hand Sheffield United the perfect start to this FA Cup quarter-final tie there. Oh, hang on a minute. They are checking for a possible offside here with this goal. So there is a temporary stoppage in play. No goal. Offside decision to Saka. Saka on his left boot, turning in past Ender Stevens. Now to Tierney. Tierney on the edge of the penalty area. Basham is adjudged to have fouled, and the referee. Has he given a penalty?
It's a pen.
The referee has given a penalty. A debatable penalty has now gone Arsenal's way, and Pepe will take it and score. Dean Henderson did dive the right way, but it was a venomous arrowed shot into Dean Henderson's left-hand corner. And now Emi Martinez, just outside the penalty area, the Argentine goalkeeper for Arsenal, will lever Archer's ball down the middle of the pitch as Lacazette's picked out Pepe, who brings a brilliant save from Dean Henderson. Hit that shot wickedly well, but Dean Henderson pouncing down to his left, parries for a corner.
Earlier on, that challenge was just as bad. That's me being a bit pedantic now. So let's see if we can get the delivery right.
Norwood's free kick hit with a low trajectory, great delivery and saved, and the linesman's flag's gone up. Egan thinks he scored, but the linesman's flag had gone up before all of that, and Sheffield United will be denied again.
Yeah, to be fair, he did spot it very early. Yeah, fair enough.
So throw in then to Sheffield United, under 4 minutes of normal time left for play. A goal down in this FA Cup quarter-final. It will bounce into the box. McGoldrick! And Sheffield United have equalised with 4 minutes of normal time to go. David McGoldrick gets his third goal of the season as Sheffield United draw level with the Gunners. Blades 1, Arsenal 1. To be stretched now as Saka comes forward onto Nketiah. The Arsenal youngsters combining. Here's Nketiah, through it goes to Pepe, who controls on his right boot. He will turn. Ender Stevens puts him off. No shot came in. Ceballos takes up the ball. Now here is Ceballos, and Dani Ceballos has fed the ball into the bottom corner. The Blades were on terms for 4 minutes as the Spain international neatly tucks the ball in, and Arsenal lead again in added time. It's Sheffield United 1, Arsenal 2 in this FA Cup quarter-final. A little stumble by Dean Henderson, but he'll quickly underarm bowl it out towards Jack Robinson. Robinson sprints on as the referee calls full time here, and Sheffield United's FA Cup fairy tale ride will end at the quarter-final stage by the Gunners. They've been beaten by Arsenal by 2-1. Dani Ceballos slipping home from close range after David McGoldrick's late strike had cancelled out Pepe's penalty, but overall a much improved performance by Sheffield United. It will end in defeat and exit from the FA Cup.
Joe Linton looking to get beyond Egan. Egan looking to use his strength. Pullback is on here. Yellow card is out for John Egan. It's a second yellow card as well, and John Egan is off. Joe Linton manages to get it through Basham. Here's Almiron into the area, and Joe Linton will put the ball in from inside the 6-yard box.
defence for Manchester United. It's a back four for them as Martial receives the ball just outside the D. Into the feet of Marcus Rashford, through to Martial! And it's 3-0, and with a glorious dink, Anthony Martial confirms his hat-trick for Manchester United against Sheffield United. Put simply, that was a class finish in a complete performance from the home side, and it's Manchester United 3, Sheffield United 0.
Quality. Just absolute quality.
Then it's Spurs at home, a big game. Some say make or break for those unmentionable European dreams. The Blades rise to the challenge and plunder a huge 3 points. Berger with his first for the club, Mousset and McBurney on target too.
You know, if you always dreamed about scoring your first Premier League goal when you're young, and I mean, being able to at least play in the Premier League is special. But when I first gradually established myself more and more in the team, you know, then you want to improve every game and you want to, you know, take your chances. And then of course we came into a tough start there after lockdown, losing some games on the run. But then I think we changed momentum that game, and that was like really the opener for us, you know, and I scored 1-0, and that game we were very strong, and then we went on beating Wolves, beating Chelsea, you know. So yeah, that was a great time, you know. So hopefully more goals coming soon.
National skipper. Here's Berger out to the far side. This is better, some space for the Blades. Baldock, overlapping run from Basham to the byline. Basham will pull it back, Berger's in there. Berger will take aim, and Berger will find the corner. And Sheffield United lead here at Bramall Lane against Spurs. Really incisive stuff on the far side. And it is the club record signing Sander Berger who gets the opening goal of the game here. We've played 31 minutes. A devastating finish into the corner. It's Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Great start.
Fantastic. Really smart finish. Lovely move as well. But Tottenham looking to hit back here as Berger gets back. Tackles Moira, but it's going to deflect into the path of Harry Kane in the area. And Harry Kane will slot the ball home. It broke brilliantly for the England man. And just like that, Tottenham Hotspur strike back. VAR are checking a possible handball here.
I
We're
think
just seeing this here.
Onto his back.
And it has hit Moira's arm.
Oh, well, it's time something went for us.
And is going back, and the goal is not going to stand here because the ball has struck Lucas Moira's arm. He came at Sheffield United, got bodies back well there, and Norwood and Osborne and a few others, and they've got it clear as far as Mousset on the edge of the centre circle. Played out by Norwood to halfway for McBurney, steps in field. Mousset tries to make a dart but holds up his run. McBurney still got it and then does brilliantly to play it out to the left hand side here for Ender Stevens.
Now we're getting the box.
Played into the area by Stevens to the byline. Osborne comes back to Stevens. Can he pull it back? He can! Mousset's there! And Mousset's onside! Nobody picked up Lys Mousset, who has the easiest of goals, gets his first goal this year in 2020. And Sheffield United have doubled their lead here at Bramall Lane against Tottenham Hotspur and look on course to leapfrog Spurs and head back into 7th place in the Premier League. We've got 21 and a half minutes to go. It's Sheffield United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
You win. That's how you win games and see them out properly.
Here's Baldock. Great run down the right, lung busting run, helps it into Berger, goes beyond his man, keeps it in. Sander Berger will pull it back and it'll be fired home by Ollie McBurney, and the Blades are running riot here at Bramall Lane against Tottenham Hotspur. They've waltzed through the Tottenham defence there, and Ollie McBurney has his first goal since January to add to the two from Mousset and Berger. It's a fantastic night here, a Thursday night in Project Restart, which is now back underway for the Blades. We've got 6.5 minutes to go. It's Sheffield United 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Since scoring the winner against West Ham in January. Here's Lamella over the top. Son will pull it back into the middle, and Harry Kane will turn the ball home from about 6 yards out. 4.5 minutes of added time played. 4 were shown. Chris Kavanagh, the referee, will put the whistle to his lips, and there it is, full time here at Bramall Lane, and a famous victory for the Blades. They make it 7 unbeaten at home against Spurs with a 3-1 victory Berger with his first goal for the club in the first half, a low drive across Lloris. The second, good link-up play with Stevens and Osborne, found Mousse in space in the box. 6 minutes to go, and Baldock and Berger combined for Ollie McBurney to get his goal. 3-0, a consolation goal for Spurs in the final minutes of the game when Harry Kane tapped home. But this is an excellent performance for the Blades, an excellent victory. It puts them back up to 7th place in the Premier League with just 6 games to go. 3-1 it finishes. Keith Edwards, much more like it from the Blades.
I don't think we get into the position that we've got all season by just getting out his feet and lumping it. We feel we play to our strengths. We're an effective side. When we have to sit off and defend and fill gaps and be nice and patient and organised and disciplined, we are. But then it's our turn to go and play and create, and just look back at the goals in the fabulous goals. Great bit of play, great bit of composure, and good finishes as well. So yeah, as I said, it's a decent night for us. Obviously, the key now is to take that into a really tough game at Burnley on Sunday.
Character shines at Turf Moor, behind against the run of play, but it's Egan who's the unlikely scoring hero, his first of the season, as the Blades earn a priceless point.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, we started the game really well. Had a couple of chances. I think I got in the end of a couple of crosses or something in the first half. Yeah, I think I went into that game for some reason just thinking I need to score because I hadn't scored all season. And I just had a lot of belief that game. We went 1-0 down, probably against the run of play from a set piece. And, Burnley are a really strong side. They're hard to break down, especially when they've got a 1-0 lead. So it was always going to be tough. But, luckily, 10 minutes to go, I think it was, we had a short corner. I remember at the time thinking, why are you going short? Like, just whip it in, because we've been getting joy from the corners that day. And a bit frustrated, but anyway, got back on side. Ozzy whipped the ball in, Billy just flicked it, and I just seen it coming towards me, and I think ending that were telling me to rush onto it and finish it, but I just felt calm, and I felt wait for it to drop and catch it on the half volley and see where it goes, and luckily it went flying into the top corner. So it was a special feeling to get my first Premier League goal, and I think it was an even better feeling because it got us back on level terms and gave us a chance of getting a result.
Berger back to Ben Osborne, digs it up into the area, sharp with a flick on towards the back post, and it's going to be slammed into the top corner by John Egan. That is not a defender's finish, but he peels away to the far side. That is an absolute beauty from the Irish international, who's come up trumps for the Blades. They have got their equaliser from a set piece. Just over 10 minutes to go at Turf Moor. Burnley 1, Sheffield United 1.
Late drama at the Lane as this crucial game is slipping towards a stalemate. One last throw of the dice then, and Egan, not unlikely anymore, who's the hero with a last gasp winner.
I think when we got the corner, I think Ozzy just had a chance and the keeper turned around the post, I think, and I just sensed, come on now, last chance, we're going up, let's see what happens, just attack it. And the delivery was spot on, and gave me a chance to really attack it, and wheeling away into the corner was an unbelievable feeling and a proud moment.
I think always coming back from injury, you're always getting judged on your first game back, and I felt really comfortable. I got man of the match that game as well. So and then Eags, obviously, fellow centre half, popped up with the winner last minute. So that was an unbelievable occasion, and Wolves are a very good team. So yeah, that was a standout moment.
I can remember it being a really, really tough game. Obviously, they're a good team. Wolves play a similar way to the way we play, so it's always going to be difficult. I just remember early doors, being up against Traore and just trying to get bodies around him, like the gaffer said, and try and stop him. And I thought we did that quite well, especially at the start. And then, we slowly grew into the game, played some nice stuff. And then towards the end of the game, we were pushing. We seemed to go up another gear and really put the pressure on, and thankfully he scored an unbelievable header from a great ball in from Ollie to give us 3 points. It was an unbelievable feeling. I just wish the fans would have been in there, to be honest.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I remember after the Burnley game I was doing an interview and the manager walked past and he said he should be on 10 this season. So I've put a bit more pressure on myself to get goals. But going into the Wolves game, I don't know. We were both fighting for that European position at the time, and we were very close in the table. Wolves are a really good side, and there was literally nothing in the game. If it was a draw game, probably would have been a sound result. But last kick of the game, Ollie whipped in a brilliant cross, and my eyes just lit up. I said, if I get my head on this could go in, and I met it full on. And high up in the crowded box, and that was it. Last head of the game was a goal, and game over. So that was an unbelievable feeling to get the winner in such a big game like that, and to be able to do it in front of the cop in our own stadium was class. But I was left with that tinge of what if all the fans were there? It would have been crazy.
Well, here tonight, as Sheffield United have rediscovered their Premier League form, having taken 4 points from their previous 2 games against Tottenham Hotspur and then the trip to Burnley, take on in-form Wolverhampton Wanderers. So, corner, which Norwood will take. Sheffield United laying siege on the Wolverhampton Wanderers goal here, trying to orchestrate with hand signals. In it goes into the box, the heads go up, and a goal! It's a goal for Sheffield United, and John Egan has got it! What a priceless goal that could prove to be John Egan, his second in as many games, may well have won 3 massive points for Sheffield United. Blades 1, Wolves 0. And it's landed just underneath the scoreboard. So it is full time. Well, what a way to win it for Sheffield United. A tight game which Sheffield United were edging in terms of possession and attempts to try and get on goal, and then the set pieces flew, the corners came in, and there was John Egan, his second goal in as many games, his second of the season. What a win. Momentum is with the Blades as Chelsea are hit by a barnstorming display. It's certainly McGoldrick's day after he nets twice. McBurney's on target as well, 3-0 and back into the top 6.
Yeah, Chelsea 3-0, wasn't it? Yeah, at home again. Wish the fans had been there. I think the boys were excellent that day. We made it so hard for them to play the way they wanted to play. We were on top of them for the first minute. We were aggressive, we were physical, we were powerful. We ran over the top of them, to be honest. But then saying that, I think if you look at particularly my goal, the build-up play towards it, I think it was Ozzy and Ender in the corner, 1-2 around Willian, I think it was. So it's not a bad player. And then Ender's put a ball perfectly on my head, and I've managed to score it as well. And that feeling to go 2-0 up in the first half against Chelsea, and then the complete performance, like you say, clean sheet against such a world-class team like Chelsea, and then Didzy to get his couple of goals in that game as well. I think the boys were so happy with that one. Results like that and performances like that, players against the best players in the world, is what we're here to do in the Premier League. And feelings like that, it will always bring a smile to my face. It will always be something that I'll cherish, and it's down to us, like I said, to keep saying, to make sure that those memories keep going, and we keep making those memories, and we keep playing these best teams in the world at the best stadiums in the world, and keep doing ourselves justice with the performances.
I broke my toe like the weekend before. I don't know. I wasn't going to play, and then I got an injection and numbs your foot basically before the game. So I played with it, and it's funny how I scored 2 goals with a broken toe after all that. But it was a great day, for me personally, to score my first goals in the Premier League, and obviously to do it and to win against Chelsea at home, at their lane, was fantastic. Lived me forever. Dreamed of scoring in the Premier League. The relief that I got scoring that goal, was magical. Yeah.
So Sheffield United make one change from the team that beat Wolverhampton Wanderers in the week. As discussed, David McGoldrick comes in with Billy Sharp dropping down to the bench against Chelsea today. Here's Osborne, beautiful turn away from Barkley into McBurney, just outside the box, the ball centred in low. Osborne went for it, but he was just strong-armed out of position by Jorginho. Then Baldock picks up the loose ball, cuts away from Mount, in it goes to McBurney and a chance, and McGoldrick has scored from close range. I suspect this one might be checked, but David McGoldrick, after the initial shot from McBurney took a wicked deflection, was there to fire in his first ever Premier League goal at the ripe old age of 32. He has the broadest smile on his face, and Sheffield United lead Chelsea by a goal to nil.
It's been good. The others have gone into the cop, and for Chelsea standards, that's poor.
Here's Ender Stevens, tight to this near side, the left. A little give and go with Ben Osborne. Lovely weighted ball. In goes the cross. McBurney! Oh, he scored! Ollie McBurney makes it 2-0 to Sheffield United with Ariza Balaga rooted to the spot. Sheffield United celebrate and celebrate wildly as the inquest starts in the Chelsea defence. Sheffield United have made them pay and are leading here by 2 goals to nil. With Arsenal and Spurs, they can't both win as David McGoldrick lays it in here to Mousse, who turns the ball in square, and a chance, and it's gone in! And David McGoldrick has got his second goal of the day, and this fairy tale night in this fairy tale season continues for Sheffield United, and David McGoldrick's at the double, and it looks as though Sheffield United are to keep their European dream alive. They are thrashing Chelsea by 3 goals to nil. Sheffield United really are just providing no way through here for Chelsea. Hudson-Odoi back to Willian here, excellent compact defending, in goes the ball, up goes the save, Dean Henderson has it, clean sheet pending.
Yeah, that's quite special, and once again they could have put that ball into the box a lot earlier, and eventually it's the same one, but that's it, it's all over.
The referee has called full time. This has been a match to remember for Sheffield United. They've taken third place Chelsea to task, beaten them comprehensively here at Bramall Lane. David McGoldrick on the score sheet twice, aided and abetted by a wonderful header from Ollie McBurney, and those European dreams are alive and kicking at Bramall Lane tonight.
I think after the lockdown, the first couple of games, we didn't play on the front foot. We kind of forgot about what we're about, and I think since the Arsenal game in the FA Cup, from then we've started to be on our front foot, and I think the results have proved of why we are where we are. There are 35 games in now. I think the table, the points don't lie on the table, so that's truly us at our best today.
Have you personally, having had to wait all season, you get your first Premier League goal, and then you double your tally in the same game?
Yeah, I've told the lads, just don't worry, when it comes, I'll get a brace or something, don't worry about the 1 goal, I'll go for 2. But obviously, I've said in the press in the week, I wasn't concerned, I wasn't losing over sleepless nights. I knew that the goals were coming because I've had chances. So, I've had a couple of chances today and I've managed to put them away. It's a great feeling to get my first Premier League goals at 32, and I think there's many more to come.
What does it actually mean to you, though, to finally have done it?
It means the world, I made my debut when I was 16, still in school. Everyone's dream was to play in the Premier League. I made that dream this season, and then I've got my second dream, which is to score. I think 2 years ago I got released from Ipswich Town. I didn't know where I was going to be. Got a trial at Sheffield United last year, won promotion, Player of the Year, and here I am today, living my dream.
Goes in front of Barnes. Thomas looks to ping the ball back, does so. Perez with the shot. Perez finds the corner. An assist for the debutant Thomas. Perez takes a shot through a few players. Managed to get the ball through to Jamie Vardy, who puts it into the centre for Gray. First touch is good. Plays it across Dean Henderson and scores.
Bent into the penalty area, and Richarlison buries his header in the bottom corner. Here at St Mary's, it's goalless. We've had 25 minutes of play. McBurney left it, might come through to Lundstrom, and he scores. Lundstrom at the back of the 6-yard box, fired the ball in. McCarthy on the deck, couldn't keep it out, it hit his leg. Right now, Shea Adams into the box, and he scored. We're encouraging from Sheffield United's perspective as Kyle Walker-Peters has a go, and it will come now with a chance to shoot for Shea Adams. So Ings steps up, it's past a flying Henderson who can't get there. Well, the referee calls full time on the match and on the season as well. It has been the most extraordinary of campaigns for Sheffield United, who will end the season 9th everybody thought that they would get relegated, tipped for the drop, but they have been simply superb from start to almost finish. They won't be signing off with a smile. They've been beaten at Southampton by 3-1, but it has been a season that will live long in the memory for Sheffield United and their supporters, in which Chris Wilder and his group of players have been simply terrific, defying the odds week in, week out.
Being there and getting promoted with the manager and getting 100 points, you think, right, nothing can really beat that, and then you come in the next year and he pushes you again, says, lads, we've got a chance again. And the team that we had was just unstoppable. The formation that we do and the way that we play is always going to be the same, and I think under this manager it'll always be the same. You keep pushing, and he got the best out of a group of lads again, and we got promoted to the Premier League, and to be part of that was amazing, and I still am now, and to do ever so well that we did. And then lockdown came, but there was still that chance of hopefully European spots, and to keep pushing as much as we did. We had 3 really good games at home against Tottenham, Wolves and Chelsea, and we believed again, and we thought this can't happen, and hopefully it was going to happen, and we just got pinched at the end. But the season as a whole, from a personal point of view, it was nice to prove people wrong, to be playing back in the Premier League where I first started with Bolton Wanderers. It was nice to be back there. Yeah, I went around it the hard way, but to get there and to be playing with lads like Eags, Endar and Flecky have been outstanding, and I got the accolades at the end, which was really amazing for me. And
you know, to be able to create a little bit of history is brilliant, and you know, to take the momentum in from the season before into that season and keep a lot of clean sheets. That's our job, to defend and to keep clean sheets, and you know, we had a really successful, you know, season doing that, and you know, to be the promoted side with the least amount of conceded goals, you know, to be the best since the Premier League has started. I believe that's the stat. You know, it's unbelievable, and something that we should take a lot of pride in, and you know, should give us a lot of belief and confidence moving forward.
It's about the clean sheets, the unbeaten in the capital, and again, it was a testament to the boys, the performances and the results, and the way we went about it in the season is a credit to everyone who was involved.